What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 4A. 76 is broken. Hawkeye is also a crazy fan. Third update. Advertise here. As a good friend of Shanks, Hawkeye will never watch Shanks die without being indifferent. That's right, even Hawkeye thinks Shanks has no chance of winning in a fight with Anka. The pressure felt by two people is not of the same magnitude. Momentum doesn't lie. Emperor Anka, so far, has killed two legendary pirates, Golden Lion and Whitebeard. He couldn't just watch Shanks die. My Emperor. It's just Shanks, you don't need to take action, just leave it to me. With a decision already made in his mind, Hawkeye drew out the black knife and locked the blade on Shanks. I saw someone finally stood up. Anka let out a long sigh of relief. Saved. Well done Hawkeye. Then leave it to you. Anka, who must maintain a cold persona on the surface, had no expression on his face, turned around and sat leisurely on Bato's barrier chair. The thunderous dullness of the imperial engine also gradually disappeared. His little heart that nearly jumped into his throat finally calmed down. Overlord Shock 23 is also withdrawn. Come on, Hawkeye. Saved. Well done Hawkeye. Red-haired Shanks is relieved. Unexpectedly, it was Hawkeye who came to the rescue for him at the critical moment. It's true that a friend in need is a friend indeed. In fact, when Anka started the Emperor engine, Shanks regretted it. How can I pretend to be cool and show off my abilities? Angry Anka, that kind of oppression, even Roger and Emu have never had it. The skin under Shanks' clothes was already covered with hair and goosebumps. He used to be a king, but now he is as fragile as a frightened cat. He knows very well that he will never be Anka's opponent, and he will definitely die miserably. Hey, how can you, a guy like you, fight for the throne with my emperor? Seeing that Hawkeye dared to intercept Anka's opponent, Bartolomeo instantly became angry. How dare you do the following? Bartolomeo was the first to refuse. Oh my god, please stop talking about Bator. Anka was so panicked that he finally got away and threw Shanks to Hawkeye. Bato, don't do it. It's not that I steal my emperor's opponent, but that Shanks is not worthy of fighting with my emperor, so it's enough for me to take action. Obviously Hawkeye is determined to protect Shanks. This rhetoric is also very artistic. Bato stopped talking when he heard this. Yes, although the red-haired Shanks is strong, he is obviously not qualified to be Anka's opponent. Then leave it to Hawkeye. What is this guy Hawkeye doing? Ace looked at Hawkeye in disbelief. He even had the ridiculous idea that Hawkeye was the one saving Shanks from Anka. I heard that Hawkeye and Shanks have a close relationship. It seems you are right. Even Ace, who is stubborn, can tell that something is wrong. How could Ming, who is so smart, not be able to tell? On the surface, Hawkeye wants to solve Anka's problems. In fact, I am completely excusing Shanks. Even Hawkeye's little idea cannot be hidden from Master Anka, so why did Master Anka allow it? To give Hawkeye face, or should Shanks be kept for use? In short, these are not what Doflamingo should think about, he just needs to know that this is Anka's decision. Just obey and that's it. Because they had not seen the Emperor Anka's striking style, everyone was more or less complaining about Hawkeye. Fujitora is even more regretful because he didn't get to see Anka's style. Shanks, take the move. Since you broke your arm, we haven't had a hearty battle for a long time. While they were talking and laughing, a huge green sword energy hundreds of meters long slashed out. There is no doubt about Hawkeye's strength, he is definitely not easy to mess with, he is the strongest swordsman in the world. God avoids. On the opposite side, Shanks' red hair danced wildly, black and red thunder flashed, and Griffin slashed with a huge sword light. In the way of swordsmanship, he may not be as good as Hawkeye. But on hockey, he is confident enough to be even better. Boom. The moment when the dark green sword energy and the red and black sword light came into contact. Shanks frowned. What happened? He was actually firmly suppressed. He was slightly better before. Being suppressed by Hawkeye and suppressed steadily can be said to be an unprecedented first time. There are thousands of words and countless questions in my heart. Eagle Eye and Red Hair looked at each other, and the two of them began to fight in close combat. This is telepathy. Mahawk, how are you doing? Sonorous. Gold and iron clash. Black Blade Knight and Griffin collided, and Shanks spoke in a voice that only the two of them could hear. I'm saving you. Hawkeye's eyes were sharp and he spoke in a deep voice. Ping ping pong. After a few moves, the two of them dispersed, and then fought together again. The sword energy is flying, the energy is vertical and horizontal. The center of the battlefield was extremely intense, providing cover for the conversation between the two. I know you're saving me, which is honestly amazing. God avoids. Now I understand why you chose to follow Anka. God avoids. Although he already had the answer in his mind, Shanks could not feel relieved until he asked it himself. Boom boom. Hawkeye blocked two of the red-haired A's. 983. No way, he is too legendary. Anka's prophecy came true. I spent too much time with those stupid fans of Bartolomeo Ace. The aloof male god Eagle Eye has also been assimilated into a crazy fan. Ping 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 pong. the two passed hundreds of moves again, and the fight was fierce. What happened to your sword? You've become stronger. This is what Shanks is most confused about. At their point, the upper limit has been capped and it is extremely difficult to move forward. The last time I saw Hawkeye was just a few months ago. Because he went to Anka, everything has changed. Now Hawkeye not only wears a gorgeous armor, but his swordsmanship has also improved by leaps and bounds. The overall strength has been improved to a higher level. This is incredible. This is why I follow Lord Anka. He can make me stronger. This armor is the fruit of Lord An's ability. As the commander of the Royal Forest Army conferred by our Emperor An, all my attributes will increase by 1/10. Shanks, you are no match for me now. Mentioning Anka, a look of pride appeared on the eagle's eyebrows. In his entire life, he was only proud of two things. The first is the sword in his hand. The second is his Emperor, 0.77 person with double fruit abilities. It's just Anka's dog. First update. Advertise here. You guy. Shanks' eyes dimmed for a moment. Perhaps, I can also follow Anka and touch a higher realm. The moment this idea appeared, even Shanks himself jumped. How is this going? How could I have such an idea when I am a mighty overlord? A real man, his eyes have been under others for a long time. Shanks, run away. No, it's hard for you to even run away now. Eagle Eye frowned slightly, trying hard to think of a way to break the situation. But obviously, there is little hope of breaking the situation. The disparity in strength is too great. Even Kaido and Beast's pirates may not be able to defeat the Emperor pirates. Hawkeye really doesn't know where Shanks got the confidence to save the Whitebeard pirates. In fact, Shanks is the most confused. His information about the Emperor pirates was still on Guy Island. Emperor Anka, Hawkeye Mahawk, Haisha Jinbei, Entei Ace, Sand Crocodile. This configuration is at most a double Emperor group. Shanks thought that even if Whitebeard couldn't beat him, he wouldn't lose too badly. Waiting for him to rush to the rescue can calm the incident to the greatest extent. But I didn't expect that it would take just half a month. The Imperial pirates have added Fujitora, a general, to the battle force. 2 more deputy battle powers, Blackbeard and Doflamingo. There are a group of stealing baboons and third brother Xiaofeng, these middle-level combatants. It grows so fast. Even Shanks was confused. The Whitebeard pirates couldn't even resist for half a day. Directly penetrated. This is outrageous. As a result, Shanks is now riding a tiger, unable to get out of the way. Surrender. We can still be good brothers under Master Anka. Sonorous. Black Blade Knight collided with Griffin fiercely again. Hawkeye has already begun to persuade him to surrender. He and Shanks were fighting to fix the match, which was just a stopgap measure. Without any hope of breaking through, surrendering to Anka seems to be the only option. 2 flowers bloom, one on each side. Blackbeard is almost done here. Call. The black cloth covering Whitebeard's body was suddenly lifted. A strong evil aura hit his face. The expressions of everyone present changed drastically. It looks like it was successful. Because of his excitement, a sickly blush appeared on Lafitte's pale cheeks. They all knew Blackbeard's plan. Capturing Whitebeard as shock fruit. Become an unprecedented dual fruit ability user. The most vicious Logia devil fruit dark fruit. The most destructive Paramesha devil fruit shock fruit. This combination, Blackbeard just took off on the spot. Even in the Emperor Pirates, which is full of talented people. They can have a place too. As expected of the boss. Badger said with great admiration. A person can only eat one devil fruit, otherwise he will explode and die. This is common sense. Even 4 emperors is no exception. But now their boss, Blackbeard, has done it. What does that mean? This means that Blackbeard will be Anka's most powerful younger brother. It's time to put the plan of hunting ability users on the agenda. Fan Oka wiped his sniper rifle, but his eyes never left the black cloth. His sniper rifle was blown up by Izo, and this one was a backup gun. Ahem. If we continue to hunt for people with powerful abilities to enrich the pirate group, we will definitely make contributions to our emperor every day. Duque coughed out 2 mouthfuls of blood and spoke sickly. Blackbeard has the ability to plunder devil fruit. The plan of hunting ability users is a stepping stone for them to express their loyalty to the Emperor Anka. It is also Blackbeard's biggest reliance on quickly establishing a foothold in the Emperor pirates. What are you guys saying? What is successful and what is a successful hunt? A heavy cold sweat appeared on Lao Sha's forehead, and the conversation between Lafitte and the 4 people made him confused. What is all this? He knew every word. But why can't he understand it when it's connected into a sentence? Ha 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 ha. Blackbeard appeared with an arrogant smile. He flexed his left arm to assume the classic shock fruit pose. At this moment, Blackbeard's figure seems to overlap with Whitebeard's figure. This posture is all too familiar to Lao Sha. This is shock fruit's most classic attack front. Could it be? Lao Sha's pupils suddenly shrank. He had a bad guess in his mind. Reunited with the Blackbeard dog just now, the dog was doing those shameful things to Whitebeard's body. Isn't this forced little black guy able to acquire the shock fruit ability? Although it is outrageous. The question is, isn't this guy a dark fruit user? How is it possible to have shock fruit ability? Bang. Under Lao Shaw's horrified gaze, Blackbeard punched the atmosphere heavily. The world is shattered like a mirror. The atmosphere is cracked every inch. Click click click. The terrifying concussive shock wave centered on Blackbeard's fist and swept away. The earth shook. It's an earthquake punch. How is it possible? Lao Shaw was so shocked that his mind went blank. He was once beaten to the ground by Whitebeard. I am very familiar with this trick. But doesn't Blackbeard already have the dark fruit ability? How did he obtain the shock fruit ability? Let two devil fruits coexist. How did he do it? Awesome. Success. Lafitte and the other four cheered Wong Hao. When one person attains enlightenment, chickens and dogs ascend to heaven. If Blackbeard's plan succeeds, their status in the Emperor Pirates will also rise. Ha 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 ha. Dark fruit ability. Dark water. Blackbeard smiled evilly and stretched out his left hand, and the irresistible gravity like a black hole appeared. Take in some trees. Shock fruit ability. Shocked. At the same time, a milky white circle appeared in Blackbeard's right hand and hit the atmosphere hard. Bang. The world seems to be shattered like a mirror. Boom. Those trees were smashed to pieces on the spot. Dark fruit on the left hand, shock fruit on the right hand. This combination is simply incomprehensible. Thief ha 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 ha. Thief ha 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 ha. Now, I say I am my emperor's most powerful dog. Who dares to object? .78 turn into a folding screen in one move. Hope broken. Second update. Now I say that I am the strongest dog under my emperor. Who dares to object? Ha 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 ha. Blackbeard's eyes flashed sharply. Who says he has no ambition? This is his ambition. Good ambition. Lao Shaw's mouth twitched. He originally thought that Blackbeard, the unprecedented double fruit power user, the invincible combination of shock fruit and dark fruit, would say something grand. I didn't expect this fat black man to say this. It's really unexpected. Boss, now it's your turn to show off your skills. My emperor and the others encountered the four emperors' red-haired Shanks. That guy is having a fierce battle with Hawkeye. Fan Oka's eyes were equipped with magnifying glasses, and he could clearly observe the situation ahead. For a strong team, the observation ability of a top sniper is indispensable. Shanks. That guy is here too. It's been so long. Ha 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 ha. Brothers, are you ready? We are going. Blackbeard was not surprised by Shanks' arrival. That guy is a pirate bastard. 23 in this kind of situation, it is simply unreasonable for him not to show off. Then, with a look of disgust on his face, Lao Sha got on the broken raft of a few scrawled men and chased forward. Everyone, come on, let's see if we can put out these flames. Marco, in his human animal form, organized the Whitebeard pirates to put out the fire. His devil fruit recovery ability is too strong. He was burned to death just now, but now he is full of life. Gun wave. The fishman Namur grasped with both hands, and the sea water condensed and exploded into water column rays. Half of Beasta's captains have been destroyed. Now only he, the fishman, can stand up and put out the fire. Sizzle. It stands to reason that extinguishing fire with water is not a piece of cake. But the moment this seawater comes into contact with the golden flames of Yanwang, it directly vaporizes and evaporates. This is simply beyond common sense and goes against Tiangong. A large amount of water vapor filled the surroundings, and visibility suddenly decreased. No, these flames are not ordinary flames. Even sea water can burn. Namuel has a big mouth. Fire can extinguish water. This is completely counterintuitive. The members of the Whitebeard pirates who were splashing water with buckets froze when they heard this and became at a loss on the spot. The golden flame is definitely different from the noble one. Think of a solution quickly. Marco was distraught. Shanks was resisting Hawkeye over there, and Emperor and Ka had no plans to take action. This is their only chance to escape. Just put out this inflammatory internet firewall. They can run away. Of course, the premise is to extinguish this firewall, otherwise everything will be in vain. If water can't put out the fire, use Hawkeye. Beckman, known as the most powerful brain in the pirate world, appears on the Moby Dick. He stood up at this critical moment and suddenly became the backbone of everyone. Beckman has a Hawkeye comparable to Admiral. He is a deputy whose strength is infinitely close to that of Shanks. Grandmaster Hawkeye's Beckman believes that any tricky devil fruit ability will be defeated after encountering Hawkeye. This golden flame is very weird. Water can't extinguish fire, but not Hawkeye. Good idea, but we can't get close at all. Marco's eyes lit up, but then dimmed again. Although using Hawkeye to put out fires is a good idea. But that golden flame has a high temperature of more than 1,000 degrees and will melt if you get closer. Let them use their armed colors to put out the fire, or they will be burned to death before they even get close. Then use emission. Beckman is holding a gun, and a dark armament Hawkeye emerges from the butt. With a thought, armament Hawkeye begins to flow. I'm sorry, everyone, but the butcher can't just sit idly by if you are planning to escape so blatantly. Fujitora, who floated over on the rocks, lightly activated his staff sword, activated his gravity fruit ability, and suppressed everyone with infinite pressure. Ace and Doflamingo were dragged away by the red hair pirates officers. He rushed over immediately. In Fujitora's perception, the temperature and energy of the golden flame are so huge that it is outrageous. Although he was very confident in Yan Wangwang's defense, he couldn't watch the opponent trying to escape. Stop him quickly. Following Marco's order, the remaining White Regiment cadres swarmed forward. They rely on Beckman now, and they can't let this blind man bother Beckman. Gravity suppression. Swing the knife, put the knife away. Only one move was used. Fujitora just waved his cane sword lightly. The whole world seems to be compressed. Heavy pressure from all directions controlled the bodies of the Baituan cadres and squeezed their internal organs. With one move, they can be turned into foldable screens. It is ready. Emission hockey is accumulated, and the butt of the Beckman gun shines with black and red light. A victorious smile appeared on his face. Baseball blow. The butt of the gun was swung out fiercely, and the superb and powerful emission hockey was like a meteor, pulling out a gorgeous tail. Boom. As everyone watched with bated breath, the emission hockey shock wave hit the wall of fire. The nuclear bomb hit the ground 670, emitting a huge explosion and a mushroom cloud that covered the sky. The bright light produced by the explosion flashed across the world. The wind was surging, bursts of Uzumaki appeared on the sea surface, and huge cracks appeared in the firewall of the internet. The flame is out. Great, we are saved. When everyone in the Whitebeard pirates saw hope, they were all moved to tears. After closing the momentum, Beckman held the gun and felt relieved. The mission was successfully completed. Next, we only need to rescue the White Group cadres from Fujitora, and then we can break out and retreat. But it seems they were happy too early. Boom. The next moment, the gap on the internet was filled directly, and the golden flame burned even more fiercely. The power is even greater, burning the sky and boiling the sea. The terrifying high temperature makes the sky burn and twist, and the sea burns and boils. Ace, who was fighting the Red Hair Pirates cadre, smiled. The fuel for these 3 levels of golden flames is emission armament hockey. Do you use emission armament hockey to put out fires? How is this different from using gasoline to put out a fire? Everyone in the Whitebeard pirates howled in despair. Hope is completely dashed. I thought it was another village with hidden flowers and bright flowers. Who knows that the willow is dark and the flowers are bright and the willow is dark again. 0.79 New ability, Imperial Edict. I am finally getting stronger. 3rd update. Advertise here. Is it really the only option to surrender? After another duel with Hawkeye, Shanks solemnly perceived the surrounding situation. The leaders of the Whitebeard pirates were beaten into folding screens by Fujitora. Beckman and the Red Hair Pirates cadres were defeated by the 3 Fujitora Ace brothers. And his side is not optimistic either. Not to mention being suppressed by Hawkeye, the opponent's Emperor Anka has not yet been dispatched. The situation seems to be truly desperate. Ha 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 ha. Shanks, do you remember me? But the situation is not the worst, only worse. A voice that Shanks least wanted to hear now sounded. It's Blackbeard. This guy arrived late on a dilapidated raft. My Emperor, the plan has been successfully completed. Long live my Emperor. Long live. Absorbing Whitebeard's shock fruit ability is such a huge thing, it's impossible for Blackbeard not to report it to Anka. Therefore, Anka knew and allowed this matter. Anka nodded slightly. See my Emperor. Long live my Emperor. Long live my Emperor. And Lao Sha. Wind and sand are everywhere, and Lao Sha's condition has improved a lot after being given first aid by Poison Q on the battlefield. He immediately rushed to the battlefield with the help of Ace people. I didn't expect you to be here too. Teach, aren't you a member of the Whitebeard pirates? Why are you here? Shanks stopped fighting with Hawkeye and his face darkened. Oops, things are completely bad now. The strength of the Emperor pirates is even more exaggerated and powerful than he imagined. That Fujitora who appeared out of nowhere was difficult enough. Now another Blackbeard appears who is suspected of defecting to the Emperor pirates. As Blackbeard's old enemy, Shanks knows very well how powerful this humble little black fat man is. The scar on my eye is thanks to him. Ha 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 ha. Shanks, it seems that your information is very limited. Pipe exclamation mark quote. I killed Sake, the captain of the 4th Division of the Whitebeard Pirates, and used his head as a pledge of honor to join the Emperor Pirates. Now he is the Deputy Marshal of the Imperial Pirate Corps. Blackbeard let out an arrogant laugh. Likewise, he was very unhappy with his old enemy Shanks. If the two of them meet in this situation, there will definitely be a bloody storm. What? You bastard. Shanks also understood that this fat black man killed his companions and rebelled against the enemy. Because of the criticality and particularity of the period. Plus the impulsive Ace. After Blackbeard killed Thatch and defected, Whitebeard did not send anyone to hunt him down, but chose to suppress the matter. Minimize the panic and defections of the Whitebeard pirates. The news was completely blocked, which resulted in Shanks not knowing about this matter at all. In fact, even Whitebeard was confused when he saw Blackbeard in the Emperor Pirates camp. Hawkeye, if you can't do it, give Shanks to me. I am ready to show off my skills in front of my Emperor. The arrogant Blackbeard fired directly at Hawkeye. He is now so arrogant that he doesn't take anyone into consideration except the Emperor and Ka and his boss Ace. You guys, talk to me like this, do you want to die? Hawkeye shifted his sword's edge on the spot and pointed it at Blackbeard. Do you really think he has a good temper? What kind of cow and horse can fight with him? Ha 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 ha. Can I understand that you have rebelled against the enemy? Shocked, smashing his right fist into the air, Blackbeard launched an indiscriminate attack on Hawkeye and red-haired Shanks without any hesitation. The atmosphere is cracked inch by inch, and the world is shattered like a mirror. Bang, bang, bang. Shock Fruit's sound effects are deafening. God avoids. Without any hesitation, the horrified Shanks swung out the sword energy wrapped with black and red thunder. The Hawkeye next to him also slashed out a monstrous sword wave. Red and green sword waves clash with each other. The two men combined their swords to easily destroy Blackbeard's shock wave, and their power was not reduced as they headed straight for Blackbeard. Hateful, dark shield. Blackbeard, who obviously overestimated his own strength, also realized that he had gone too far. Because of the expansion of power, reason was overwhelmed. In a hurry, use the dark fruit ability to create a huge black hole defense in front of you. The deep black hole seems to be able to swallow everything. But who are Red Hair and Hawkeye? The powerful Hawkeye was so devastating that he broke through Blackbeard's defense almost instantly. Blackbeard can only grit his teeth and use armament Hawkeye to resist. Clang. The sound of gold and iron clashing sounded. Lao Hei's armament Hawkeye is obviously very accomplished. But facing the general, he was still easily defeated. Two sword energies, one on the left and one on the right, opened an X wound on his chest. Blood suddenly spurted out like a pillar. Ah. I'm going to kill you. A pig-like scream sounded from Blackbeard's mouth. The severe pain made him roll on the ground in pain. What's going on? Why do you have Whitebeard's shock fruit? Although they had the advantage, Shanks and Hawkeye were extremely solemn. Just because Blackbeard broke the rules. He can actually have two devil fruit abilities at the same time. What are you doing, Hawkeye? The younger brother was bullied, and Ka finally couldn't sit still. You, Hawkeye, have a good relationship with Shanks, and I can understand why you two are fighting over each other. But what does it mean that you're playing Blackbeard with Shanks now? Although Blackbeard is indeed in debt, he is telling the truth. If you, Eagle Eye, don't fight well, then don't occupy the latrine and not take a shit. Thinking like this, and Ka felt so angry in his heart that he burst into anger. Open black lens bracket new abilities awaken, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Emperor's Edict close black lens bracket. Emperor's Edict. Prepare an edict and issue a decree, give orders to your ministers and give them the aura of following orders. Close black lens bracket. The attributes of ministers with the aura of following orders will increase by 50%. After the ministers with the aura of acting on orders complete the orders, the Emperor will receive the corresponding task rewards. Task rewards are related to task difficulty. After reading the introduction of the new ability, and Ka was dumbfounded. Magical skill. This is a magical skill. Skills that can earn rewards. Damn it, I am finally getting stronger. 80 The decision is yours. Blackbeard listens. First update. At the first moment, and Ka targeted Blackbeard. This guy's loyalty has been maxed out and he can be canonized as an emperor. After canonization, all attributes will increase by 10%, and all attributes of the aura will increase by 50% when ordered to act. This adds up to a 60% increase in all attributes. What does it mean for a Commodore Emperor to have a 60% increase in all attributes? All attributes, it is the increase of Hawkeye, physical skills, fruit abilities, mental, physical, and various aspects. Blackbeard in this state can even knock down Roger at his peak. Cleaning up a Shanks is not a piece of cake. And Ka knew that it was very unrealistic to defeat Shanks with Hawkeye, so there was only one option left. The decision is yours. Blackbeard. The target of issuing an imperial edict must be a minister who has been canonized by the Emperor and has an official position of 043. So you need to go through the canonization process first. Barrier guard. With one look, Bator immediately understood. The canonization ceremony could not be interrupted, and he immediately created a barrier shield to wrap Blackbeard. Although the barrier has strong defense, it should be able to cause damage if connected. After Shanks took a look, he made a preliminary judgment in his mind. But considering the eagerness of the Emperor and Ka in the Eagle Eye Mohawk's face, the red-haired Shanks did not take the opportunity to attack Blackbeard. Blackbeard accepts the title. I designate you as Vice Marshal of the Army. The golden words and the laws are presented. Blackbeard felt as if he was listening to the sounds of nature. He didn't have time to think too much and got up despite the pain. Thank you, Lord, for your grace. The canonization process is very simple and crude. Pieces of armor are attached to Blackbeard's body. It is the same Army Admiral costume as Ace. At the same time, the stainless steel dagger on Blackbeard's chest was strengthened to the level of a sharp knife. The injuries also healed at a speed visible to the naked eye. Ha 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 ha. The power in my body seems to be endless. Shanks, I'm going to kill you and give your head to our noble Emperor. The improvement in strength is particularly obvious, even more obvious than when gaining the shock fruit ability. Blackbeard now finally knows how cool it is to be a canonized minister like Hawkeye Ace Lausha. A 10th increase in all attributes. The actual combat strength has almost doubled. Getting stronger. Is it Emperor and Ka's means of increasing? Shanks' observation Hawkeye is so keen, he clearly understands Blackbeard's changes. The process of becoming stronger is gradual. Unless there is an epiphany or a breakthrough, such a huge improvement is simply impossible. Directly breaking through common sense, is this the method of Emperor Anka? So terrifying. Unfathomable. Emperorial canonization is a means for my emperor to increase the growth rate of his subordinates. This move can permanently increase the growth rate of subordinates who meet the loyalty standards. Blackbeard is no longer what he used to be. Shanks, are you really not going to surrender? As a beneficiary of the same imperial canonization, Eagle Eye is very aware of how powerful this 1/10 increase is. He can now firmly suppress the strongest 4 emperors red-haired Shanks, and he can also win the battle. It is the credit of the emperor's canonization. Blackbeard has always been a tough guy, but now he's even tougher. The situation has gotten so bad for Shanks that even Hawkeye is worried for him. I still say the same thing, you will know who is strong and who is weak only after fighting. In short, surrendering without a fight is not Shanks' style. What's more, the opponent is the old enemy Blackbeard. Emperor's Edict. After activating the Imperial Confession to consecrate Blackbeard, Anka immediately used the Imperial Edict. Although it is the first time to use it, there is a sense of familiarity that is so blessed to the soul. With a thought, a piece of edict appeared out of thin air. On it began to appear one by one with dragons and phoenixes dancing in the air as Anka expressed his thoughts. If there is no eunuch to declare the order, let Batuo do it for him. This guy sure would love it. After the edict was written, it flew into the hands of Bartolomeo behind him, and a wonderful feeling came to his heart. Bato instantly understood his mission. Opened the edict and read loudly. Blessed by heaven, the emperor decreed. Vice Marshal Blackbeard has heard the order and orders you to conquer the 4 emperors red-haired Shanks, life or death, without any mistakes. Appreciate this. After the reading was completed, the edict turned into a stream of light and poured into Blackbeard's body. 4 shining golden characters, act on orders, appeared above Blackbeard's head. A 50% increase in all attributes. The oppressive feeling like a wild beast appeared on Blackbeard, and he was suddenly angry. Then it disappeared in a blink of an eye, and it was as silent as an abyss, unfathomable. I accept the order. Thank you, Lord, for your kindness. Ha 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 ha. Is this the power bestowed by our emperor? I feel like I can punch Whitebeard right now. Blackbeard laughed wildly, feeling the power in his body, clenching his fists, and his joints crackling. The sudden increase in power almost overwhelms his sanity. Now Blackbeard can defeat 5 of his original selves. At the same time, the admiration and worship for Anka in my heart is like a river. Just the power given to you can make you so powerful. Anka's true strength, how terrifying it must be. This is a legend worth following. What is this move? The red-haired Shanks was so nervous that the hairs on his hair were rising uncontrollably as if he was facing a powerful enemy. Observation Hawkeye gave a crazy warning in his heart. This will be the biggest crisis he has encountered since going to sea. It turns out that Shanks' telepathy can also sense Blackbeard becoming stronger. But now, with Blackbeard who was ordered to do 3.1, he couldn't find out the depth at all. Unfathomable. It can only be described as unfathomable. Shanks once saw Lady Yi Mu on the Void Throne, and he swore that the current Blackbeard made him feel even more terrifying than Lady Yi Mu. As for Anka, to transform his subordinates into something so awesome easily, he must be incredibly powerful, and he deserves the title of the strongest for 800 years. Surrender. Shanks felt bitter in his heart and began to seriously consider this only solution. This is the first time my emperor has used this trick. Shanks, I'm sorry, but I can't help you. Think clearly, it's not too late to surrender now. Hawkeye held a black knife and worked tirelessly to persuade them to surrender. He really couldn't sit back and watch his good friend Shanks die in front of him. Stop holding on. Surrender. 0.81 Blackbeard. I'm just following orders. Please order in full. Advertise here. Now Blackbeard, even Hawkeye will feel helpless when faced with him. The Emperor who had been watching here indifferently from beginning to end made Shanks extremely despairing. The biggest boss on the opposite side hasn't taken action yet, so there's no need to take action. Their journey seems to be coming to an end. Ha 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 ha. Surrender. Stop talking to yourself. If you surrender, I won't be able to fulfill Chunjun's will. With a flying body, Blackbeard instantly appeared on the ruins of Moby Dick where Hawkeye and Redhair were fighting. Fast. Too fast. This is a flexible black fat man. Not good. Almost at the same moment, Shanks suddenly retreated. Just because, in the observation of foreseeing future seeing, hearing and color. He saw Blackbeard perform a tricky move. He ran pretty fast. Is it observation Hawkeye's meet the future? But Lousy also has this kind of thing now. Blackbeard is a nightmare when he's following orders, and Luffy's bugs cross latitudes. Not only the shortcomings of the original observation Hawkeye have been made up, but it has also reached the level of foreseeing the future. Such a wonderful feeling. They are all given by the great and sacred Emperor. Blackbeard had to sigh again, he was right to follow the Emperor. If you are in the Whitebeard pirates, how could he have the chance to beat up 4 emperors red-haired Shanks? How could there be such a majestic and high-spirited day-to-day? Shocked. Bang, bang, bang. He punched the air hard, causing cracks to spread. The earthquake, carrying the power of destruction, struck Shanks. The seismic waves emitted by Blackbeard, who had just obtained the shock fruit but was acting under orders, were already not inferior to the peak Whitebeard. It's so terrifying. God avoids. Shanks' red hair danced wildly, and the griffin in his hand drew a shocking sword light, and he evened his ultimate move. Black and red thunder flashed, sword waves were like floods bursting from embankments, and exploding waterfalls hit earthquake waves. Rumble. A deafening impact sounded. Sparks and lightning arose, causing serious light pollution. This attack is evenly matched. How come? Shanks' pupils shrank sharply, his face full of disbelief. I have practiced swordsmanship for a lifetime, and the ultimate dominance inherited from Roger, the Pirate King. He was actually blocked by Blackbeard, who had just gained the shock fruit ability. And it doesn't fall behind at all. Anka looked expressionless from beginning to end, as if he didn't care about these little things at all. Shanks gritted his teeth. Is it really that important to hold the right thigh? Hawkeye is the same, Blackbeard is too. One by one, the chicken turns into a phoenix. It is a perfect interpretation of what it means for one person to achieve the Tao. Chickens and dogs ascend to heaven. Ha 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 ha. I'm just following orders. My emperor has decreed to defeat you, life or death. But Lousy looks like he's still dead. Shanks, just follow him, thief ha 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 ha. Dark water. The thing that was just on par with the red-haired bully was Blackbeard's currently weakest shock fruit ability. The really scary thing is dark fruit. Dark fruit with a 50% increase and 3 times its actual combat power. A halo as dark and deep as a black hole appeared in the palm of Blackbeard's left hand. An irresistible and powerful suction force came from it. And Shanks is the only target that is extremely targeted. Not good. Shanks, who had already predicted the attack by foreseeing the future, tried his best to retreat. But it's still too late. The powerful suction locked his body. Blackbeard seemed to turn into a huge magnet, ruthlessly absorbing Shanks, a weak little iron nail. That big black hand is like a 5-fingered mountain, and Shanks' eye, a monkey, can't get out no matter how hard he turns it. Red Storm. Unable to use his strength in midair, Shanks couldn't stop himself from flying towards Blackbeard's figure, so he could only keep swinging his sword energy to try to interfere with the opponent. But when these sword energies touched the darkness, they immediately fell into the sea without causing any waves. Buzz buzz. Blackbeard's right hand shook slightly, a milky white halo covered his fist, and his shock fruit ability was activated, accumulating terrifying power. The helpless Shanks was waiting comfortably to be sucked in by dark fruit from his left hand and actively hit this punch. Ha 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 ha. Shocked. Without any miracle, this punch hit Shanks on the waist. The world is centered around Shanks' waist, with cracks spreading to all sides, shattered like a mirror. Click click click. Armament hockey emission, shock fruit ability, the craziest force injected into Shanks' body. Cough. This was a heavy blow to the head, which made Shanks' eyes turn white and he lost consciousness. Shanks is not a tank like Kaido. But it's an ordinary human like Whitebeard Garp, whose flesh and blood body is still very fragile. Not to mention the penetrating attack shockwave and emission. Brush. The sword light flashed by. Shanks regained consciousness in 0.01 second, and stabbed out a sword in the flash of lightning. The superb armament hockey renders the sword as black as ink. This sword went down and hit Blackbeard right in the neck. But the imagined sound of flesh and blood breaking did not appear. But the clanging sound of gold and iron clashing. Shanks, when did your sword become so soft? 930. The indestructible armament hockey is attached to the neck, blocking this unexpected sword. Blackbeard cast a provocative look. Do you understand the value of a 50% increase in all attributes? Hockey, strength, reaction, agility, physique, the increase of these attributes. For Blackbeard, a physical expert, his combat power has more than tripled. Close combat, completely defeat Shanks with ease. Teach. Along with the roar, Gux was in a trance. He seemed to go back to when he followed Roger and encountered the Golden Lion in the naval battle. Pretty much the same as now. It is also a desperate situation. But there was still a glimmer of hope in despair, and in the end they won. There is never a certain death situation. What Emperor and Ka, what Blackbeard, what Flame Emperor, Shanks is fearless. Boom. Conqueror's hockey soars into the sky. With Shanks as the center, it spreads to the surrounding areas. Powerful pressure capable of causing substantial damage descends. The entire battlefield becomes silent. It's come to this, why can't you put away your annoying face? Stand at attention when you are being beaten. Blackbeard felt an unknown anger rising in his heart. The dark left hand holding Shanks suddenly exerted force. Point A2. The Emperor's edict commands the ministers. Everyone is excited. Please order in full. Advertise here. The iron clamp-like palms contracted, and the terrifying strange force was like a humanoid hydraulic press. Shanks' face turned red immediately after being caught on the shoulder. No matter how much he struggled, it was to no avail, and the Conqueror's hockey that broke out came to an abrupt end. Shanks, they say you're the strongest. But that's in the past. The strongest one now is our Emperor, King Anka. It's the Emperor Pirates. Ha 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 ha. Shocked. Another earth-shattering punch. Blackbeard hit Shanks' waist with his right hand, and shock fruit poured out its power crazily. Bang, bang, bang. The sound of shattering mirrors was heard. Click click click. The atmosphere is cracked and cracked. But this punch was blocked by Shanks with Griffin. 790's strong dominance allowed his blade to make contact through the air and intercept the opponent's fist. Shanks raised his head and stared straight at Blackbeard, making him feel nervous. Whitebeard should have said that your biggest weakness is your arrogance. Buzz. Conqueror's haki, as majestic as the sea, was compressed into a point and burst out in Blackbeard's mind. A powerful aura poured into Blackbeard's brain like a flood, and his mind went blank. Dark fruit ability, shock fruit ability, disappeared without a trace in this moment. This is exactly what Shanks did to scare the Green Bull. Mental suppression. It must be said that Shanks' research and understanding of conquerors are at the forefront of the times. I made Conqueror's haki feel like a psychic attack. Taking advantage of Blackbeard's confusion, Shanks used another plan to attack Blackbeard. Then he got rid of the control, his body was as fast as lightning, and he appeared next to Red Hair Pirates as if teleporting. Speed is also Shanks' strong point, he is so fast that even Kizaru is stunned. Ah 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 ah. Blackbeard's heart-wrenching wail suddenly sounded behind him. At this time, Lakelu and Usopp were having a fierce battle with Ace Mingay. Facing two powerful generals who are above the rank of lieutenant, Red Hair Pirates calmly dealt with it without falling behind at all. Which of the New World 4 emperors is the most powerful? Are they beasts pirates with hundreds of zone abilities? Is it the Big Mom pirates with countless races under their command? Is it the Whitebeard pirates, a group of 16 members who can stand alone? Neither, but a pirate group that is recognized all over the world as being indestructible. A pirate group with an iron wall. A balanced pirate group. Red Hair Pirates. Lackey's speed and attack left Ace helpless. The chaser Usopp's superb spear skills made Doflamingo even more anxious. Guns are more of a threat to Red Hair Pirates than sharp knives. God avoids. Black and red thunder flashed, and the monstrous sword energy attacked the 4 people who were inseparable. Shanks ordered loudly. Everyone listens to the order and joins the Whitebeard Pirates. Bell. Meet a master like General Huang. Brother Ming, a chicken thief, starts fishing appropriately, and the trapped beast still fights. The counterattack in despair is often more intense. He didn't want to get in trouble with Shanks at a time like this. But Brother Ming would not sit back and let the Red Hair Pirates break through like this. He grabbed his hand and created a large number of silk threads to spray into the sky. The strongest field control move in the pirate world. Birdcage. A series of indestructible silk threads fell from the sky, like a large cage upside down. Birdcage is so hard that not even the general can destroy it. It also has the cutting ability to destroy large islands like Dressrosa and the means to block signals. Everyone present turned into caged birds. The 2 major control skills of Yanwang and Birdcage are used together. Now there is really no way to the sky and no way to the earth. Golden Fury. Ace in 3rd gear waved his arms, and surging golden flames struck. Ace was already a little tired from being in 3rd gear for a long time and engaging in an anxious battle with the Red Hair Pirates officers. In front of the 4 emperors, any flaw is fatal. God avoids. Griffin's cold light shines, thunder roars, and Shanks' red hair dances wildly. The Overlord is angry. Ba Tang's sword energy cleared away the flames and at the same time killed Ace instantly with one blow. The 4 emperors' invincible suppression ability is fully demonstrated. Shanks, I won't let you run away like this. Blackbeard, who was chasing after him, caught Ace, charged up his arms again, and unleashed his 2 top devil fruit abilities. He acted in a dignified manner, but fell into Shanks' conqueror's trick. What a shame. Only with Shanks' head can we wash away the shame. Only then can we not disappoint our emperor. What a disappointment. Anka looked at Blackbeard over there speechlessly. I was still looking forward to the rewards released after Blackbeard completed the imperial edict. Who knew Blackbeard was so unreliable that every duck he got could fly? It seems that Whitebeard and Shanks are right, arrogance is Blackbeard's biggest shortcoming. If the task of the imperial edict is not completed, he doesn't matter, but Blackbeard needs to be punished, a would-be 4 emperor's boy with missing arms and legs. He couldn't bear it. Relying on Blackbeard alone is obviously unrealistic. So be it. Anka's mind moved and he used the emperor's edict ability again. Flamboyant. After the golden edict was written, it flew into Bartolomeo's hands. The part-time eunuch who announced the edict immediately shouted. Blessed by heaven, the emperor decreed. Field Marshal Entei Ace obeys the order and orders you to sink the Moby Dick 5.3. There must be no mistake. Dali Temple Minister Fujitora smiled and listened to the order. He ordered you to defeat the Whitebeard pirates without any mistakes. Mahawk, Commander-in-Chief of the Royal Forest Army, has heard the order and orders you to defeat Beckman, the Vice-Captain of the Red Hair Pirates. There must be no mistake. Doflamingo, the Deputy Commander of the Royal Forest Army, has heard the order and orders you to cooperate with Flame Emperor Ace without any mistakes. Sir Crocodile, orders you to destroy the Redvers without any mistakes. Appreciate this. As the decrees were issued one after another, the edicts overflowed, turning into stars and pouring into the bodies of the Imperial pirates. The 4 big words, follow orders, suddenly appeared above everyone's heads. Power. Unprecedented power. This sudden huge increase made all members of the Emperor Pirates excited. I am waiting for the order. 83 Fujitora Hawkeye mission completed. Rewards are distributed. Please order in full. Advertise here. This is simply awesome. Ace, who was lying on the floor after being F***ed by Shanks, was instantly resurrected with full health. The flame reignites. At this moment, he felt that his life had reached its peak. All attributes increased by 50%. Okay, everything is okay. Get it all. Mera Fruit's abilities and its own attributes have been increased at the same time. Ace feels that he has touched the threshold of a higher level. The temperature of the flame can be even higher. If you want the temperature to be higher, the fuel must be higher grade. Armament Hawkeye and emission have been burned, what else can be burned? Ace's mind was spinning, and his brain was moving rapidly. Like Luffy, he is usually silly and naive, but in battle he is the best among all. In a flash of inspiration, Ace thought of beating him until he cried for his father and mother. There you go, Conqueror's Hawkeye. To burn Ba Tang, you must first understand Ba Tang. Come on Ace, you can do it. Ace began to calm down and seriously feel the power in his body. After suffering several attacks from Shanks, he also gained a certain degree of knowledge and understanding of bullying. Similar to emission, it makes Conqueror's Hawkeye flow. It's just that Ba Tang needs to own Conquerors, and this threshold will kill 99.9% of people. Now that the battle is going smoothly, Ace is not in a hurry and begins to enter a state of enlightenment. Is this the power bestowed by our Emperor? It's the best it's ever been. With the string fruit ability, and my Hawkeye, the combat power has at least doubled. Kaido is nothing more than that. Phew. Doflamingo's fingers are grasping, and he can't wait to use his new power. Countless parasite strings use birdcage as a medium, as dense as rain. A large number of minions and middle-level cadres of the Red Hair Pirates and Whitebeard Pirates were instantly controlled and defected on the spot. Brother Ming, who has unparalleled control, has almost no solution to the 4 emperors and below when he is following orders. My mission is to help Ace destroy the Moby Dick. What is that guy doing? Brother Ming didn't forget about business either. He had a feeling in his mind that if the tasks in this edict were not completed, he would pay a huge price. He doesn't want to take any chances. Are you actually comprehending skills? Yes, this current state is indeed an opportunity for a guy with extremely high understanding like Ace to become stronger. It's better not to disturb him. I can complete the task of destroying the Moby Dick by myself. To be honest, Doflamingo is very envious and jealous of Ace, who has epiphanies at every turn. But now the mission is the most important. If this guy can't act, you can only rely on him. Super whip. Thin threads are twisted into thick whips, and Doflamingo whips quickly. The walk rubs against the air during flight to create flames. At this time, the leaders of the Whitebeard Pirates were suppressed by Fujitora, and this attack was simply unstoppable. Boom. There was a flash of light. This blow is comparable to the slash of a great swordsman. The hundreds of meters long whip cut the entire Moby Dick in half. The mission of destroying the Moby Dick has almost been completed. You are truly worthy of the power bestowed by our Emperor. Now I just need to lower my presence and quietly suck up the damage to the Redvers. In the wind and sand, Lao Sha smiled sinisterly, feeling extremely intoxicated by the power given by Anka. If I had such power earlier, Bullet Whitebeard would not be enough. All of them will be defeated by his men. Complete the task online, otherwise you will definitely be punished. With a thought, Lao Sha turned into windy sand, and the dog looked for an opportunity to destroy the Redvers. Aboard the Redvers. Oh, Shanks, surrender. Hawkeye, who carries the aura of following orders, is still trying to persuade him to surrender. In this state, he is so powerful that even he himself is shocked. I never imagined that I could be so strong. It seems like even Roger the Pirate King is vulnerable. Hawkeye now knows why Blackbeard is so arrogant. Suddenly possessing such a powerful power, it is considered a strong mind not to lose it. At least Hawkeye now has the idea of being the boss of heaven, the second boss of earth, the third boss of Anka, and the fourth boss of him. There's nothing that can't be cut with one sword. If there is, then cut it with another sword. Surrender. This time, Shanks didn't refuse, but thought about it carefully. A Blackbeard who follows orders can get himself rubbed and beaten. Now there are so many more people who are following orders. With the opponent's level of combat power, even if they attack naval headquarters, they won't necessarily lose. Damn it, Shanks, this is all your fault. Unlike everyone's excitement, Blackbeard's eyes were full of resentment and hatred. Originally, I was the one who acted under orders. In the end, because Shanks was a bastard, my emperor was disappointed in him, so he was punished by everyone. He has lost my emperor's trust. This is all Shanks' fault. He wants to kill the other party to complete my emperor's mission. To win back my emperor's heart. It's amazing. Is this the power of my emperor? At the same time, Kuohu, who was fighting fiercely with Beckman while suppressing the officers of the Whitebeard Pirates, suddenly gained momentum. The sleeping tiger awakens. Gravity knife, tiger. If you don't hesitate, just use the knife decisively to knock Beckman away. Almost killed instantly with one hit. 963. How come? There was a back and forth just now, they were evenly matched, and in the blink of an eye, he was killed instantly. Beckman couldn't believe it. But before he had time to think about it, his vision went dark and he lost consciousness. Dwang. What sounds good as a good start? Excuse me. Hawkeye retracted the black knife, and he just slapped Beckman with the back of the knife. The task in the edict asked him to defeat Beckman, and he didn't forget it. Everyone, please cooperate. I'm just following orders. Fujitora opened his eyes and held a knife at everyone in the Whitebeard pirates. The Emperor's decree in the edict allows him to defeat the Whitebeard pirates. Not to mention the rewards, thunder and rain, but your kindness. But if you fail, there will be a price. Gravity knife, reincarnation in hell. 50% increase in gravity fruit ability and sword skill activation. Terrifying pressure is coming from all directions, from heaven to earth. The entire Moby Dick seems to be in a depth of 100,000 meters. Almost instantly, everyone lost consciousness and were killed instantly. The Moby Dick was also shattered into pieces and turned into ruins on the spot. Emperor's Edict. Eagle Eye mission completed, rewards distributed. Emperor's Edict. Fujitora mission completed, rewards distributed. Gone, Eagle Eyes and Kuohu are still reliable. 84 The Sword of the Human Emperor. The National Jade Seal. Please order in full. Advertise here. Emperor's Edict. Ace mission completed, rewards distributed. Emperor's Edict. Doflamingo mission completed, rewards distributed. Gone, Hawkeye and Fujitora are more reliable. They completed 4 tasks at once. Now Anka was very happy. Hawkeye Fujitora is different from Blackbeard, who seldom has other emotions during battle. Calm, strong, and without flaws, this is your right-hand man. Reliable. Get the reward, the Emperor's Gold Medal. Used on subordinates who have been canonized by the Emperor, you can force them to take action. Like this. That bitch Wanyan Jiaogu used 13 gold medals to recall Yu Fei. Now that I have this ability, it's so delicious. The shiny golden sign appeared in front of Anka. The moment he saw the reward and introduction, his eyes widened. Forcefully control the actions of subordinates. This thing is heaven-defying. From now on, even if I give Ace a gold medal to fight Luffy, Ace won't even frown. Give Blackbeard a gold medal and he won't hesitate at all. Just the first reward is so outrageous. The remaining 3 that are being distributed are so outrageous, and Ka is really looking forward to it. Get the reward, the Sword of the Emperor. The Emperor's sword, when used in conjunction with the Emperor's order, will have better effects. A big sword 2 meters long appeared in front of N. For him who is 3 meters tall, it is just right because it is small. The big sword is entirely golden, with carved dragons and phoenixes, and a 5-clawed golden dragon hovering on the hilt. Its whole body is filled with a sacred and noble aura of majesty. Show off your sharp edge and dominate the world. Buzz. The phantoms of dragons and phoenixes appeared all around, and the sky and the earth were eclipsed, with only the sword shining brightly. The magic weapon is born. At this moment, Shanks, Hawkeye, Fujitora, except the guys controlled by Mingji's parasite string, everyone's eyes were looking here. A beam of light soared into the sky, and the human emperor's sword is bathing in it. This is my personal treasure order. And Ka slowly held the sword floating in front of him, his whole body filled with inviolable sacred pressure. This is an artifact that can press the supreme sharp knife to the ground and rub it. It should be able to compete with ancient weapon. And it can also strengthen the killing ability of the Emperor's order. And Ka feels so good now. This wave took off immediately. I've been pretending to be a boss for a long time, and now I'm really a boss. Get the reward, the Supreme Dragon Chair. In the position of Emperor, Host sits on the dragon throne and can upgrade his own skills. But it's not over yet. After the Emperor's gold medal and the human Emperor's sword, the third reward is released. Overflowing with brilliance, a luxurious dragon chair as large as a bed appeared behind him. Without any hesitation, he immediately sat down on the upper floor. Emperor Engine Upgrade. Can be activated automatically. Close Black Lens Bracket. Overlord Shock Upgrade. Can be activated automatically. Emperor Realm Upgrade. Remove any restrictions. Emperor's Order Upgrade. Increased attack power. The moment he sat on the dragon throne, and Ka's 4 major skills were all strengthened. The Imperial engine no longer only scares people, but has a certain degree of amplification effect. The most buggy ability, Overlord Shock, is no longer just a way to show off, but a real power. In the Imperial realm, there is no need to step on things all the time to maintain the fruit ability awakening state of the crowned dragon robe. The only means of attack, the Emperor's order, has been enhanced to an epic level. This dragon chair can fly into the sky, which is simply outrageous. First the Emperor's gold medal, then the human Emperor's sword, and the supreme dragon throne. And Ka seemed to have discovered a pattern. That's these 4 rewards, the further they go, the more outrageous they become. The last one is the most outrageous. Get the reward, the National Jade Seal. Close Black Lens Bracket. Ordered by heaven, you will live forever. Sacred weapons, endless. Ha, it turned out to be this. I'm going to pass out from excitement. And Ka was so excited that he even stopped breathing. If you receive orders from heaven, you will live a long and prosperous life. Which man can resist such romance? Moreover, this National Jade Seal is also a sacred weapon with endless magical uses. There is no upper limit. The Jade Seal is about the size of a palm, with 5 dragons circling on it, and the words, ordered by God, longevity and Yongchang, are engraved on it. Holding the imperial seal in his hand and the emperor's sword in the other hand, he sat on the supreme dragon chair. Anka now felt that the whole world belonged to him. I actually had the urge to fight to the death with Ymue on the void throne. That's so cool. Is this my emperor's complete fighting state? Bartolomeo, the imperial guard with a sword, was so excited that his eyes filled with tears, and he kept wiping his uncontrollable tears. Emperor Anka's current state is so shocking. Wearing the emperor's crown, wearing a 5-clawed dragon robe, holding the emperor's sword, sitting on the supreme dragon chair, holding the most precious jade seal. The dazzling golden light is as bright as the sun. The emperor's face is blocked by the crown bead curtain, as if shrouded in mist, making it impossible to see the depth. It is extremely mysterious, powerful and breathtaking. The oppressive gaze is like the judgment of God that has traveled through hundreds of millions of 10,000 years. No one locked by it can escape. The feeling of oppression is too strong. Emperor Anka, compared with this lord, the one who rules the new world is not the emperor. They are simply bandits collecting rags. Oh, a cry of surprise. Bartolomeo was so excited and happy that he fainted. Oh, another exclamation. Bartolomeo was so excited and happy that he woke up again. Oh, Bator is awake, Bator is fainted, Bator is awake, Bator is fainted. This is so shocking. When Lao Sha, who was about to attack the Redvers, saw this scene, he was so stunned that he even chewed the cigar in his mouth without knowing it. My emperor, my emperor. Blackbeard's eyes were wild and he knelt down crazily in the direction of Anka. Knock your forehead until blood spills out, I pray you most sincerely. Shanks, my emperor is serious. That's too late. Make a decision quickly. Hawkeye is almost dying of anxiety. Idiot Shanks, is it that hard for you to surrender? Surrendered, we are still good friends. Only he can change this absurd world. Fujitora looked moved, his empty eyes trying to look in the direction of Anka. He could feel that man's breath. You can also imagine how shocking this scene will be. World Economic News Service. The Morgans group who watched the live broadcast through Newsbird were dumbfounded and trembled on the spot. Long live my emperor. Long live. 85 If you receive orders from heaven, you will live a long and prosperous life. Please order in full. Advertise here. Guhahahahaha. Let me present a great gift to our emperor. Erosion of reincarnation. While everyone was stunned, Sha pinned Redvers with his right hand. Sand fruit ability activates. The hull of the Redvers began to dry out quickly, absorbing all the water and turning into powder. This is Logia's unique wide area attack move. It has the terrifying power of turning rocks into sand. Boom. In the blink of an eye, the entire Redfirth was turned into powder and destroyed. Thump thump. With nowhere to stay, the red hair pirates immediately fell into the sea like dumplings. The leaders of the red hair pirates occupied the driftwood floating on the sea and resisted tenaciously. Hawkeye and the red-haired men could only move their positions. Emperor's Edict. Lao Sha's mission is completed. 743. Rewards are being distributed. Open black lens bracket get reward. Wonglong. Close black lens bracket. After putting it on, you will be invulnerable to fire and water. F*K me, you might as well just make me invincible. The corner of Anka's mouth is harder to press than AK. What? You said I have facial paralysis. Which side is paralyzed? I can't even close my mouth with joy. Base. The dragon robe on his body has a completely new look. The original gilt dragon robe has directly turned into a gold dragon robe. Against the sun, it dazzles until it can no longer dazzle. The main thing is luxury. The main thing is a dazzling one. The increase disappeared, but fortunately, I have mastered Ba Tang. In the midst of his epiphany, Ace quietly woke up, his eyes shining with divine light. The four big characters, act on order, disappeared. It seems that the task of his imperial edict has been completed. I haven't done anything, so I'm quite embarrassed to be messing around. But my goal has been achieved. In just this moment, Ace has successfully mastered Matai. Although it's outrageous. But compared to Luffy, he wakes up after being hit with a stick. He was beaten several times by Shanks, and with the help of Anka, he finally woke up, so it's not that outrageous. Enter. Fourth gear. Conqueror's Haki erupts, then flows, using Bamatu as fuel, supplying flames to burn. Ace smiled evilly, and the temperature of the flame was turned away again. It's reached the terrifying 1500 degrees. The color also changed from orange to white. Orange 0 gear, orange 2nd gear, gold 3rd gear, white 4th gear. The white flame is worse than Akainu's magma. If you touch it, you will die. Ace's strength has undoubtedly reached the 4 emperors level. The 17-year-old general. The level of outrageousness is even more outrageous than the 19-year-old Luffy, and only slightly less outrageous than Anka. Another breakthrough. These geniuses are really annoying. Of course, except Wai Yin's sacred tomb. Doflamingo looked at Ace speechlessly. A young boy rushed to the level of general and emperor in such a short period of time. It can be called the number one person under Anka. Brother Ming is now a little curious about Ace's background. Compared to the mysterious and powerful Anka, the talent shown by Ace is even more terrifying. He is simply an innate genius of Haki. Such a guy cannot live in an unknown hut. I heard from those guys in the army that Ace is the grandson of marine hero Garp and the son of pirate king Roger. Ah. So what's the relationship between Garp and Roger? Brother Ming suddenly felt that his brain was not enough. I couldn't think of a reason, so I just stopped thinking about it. The state of following orders is gone, and that kind of increase is gone. But what's going on with the current state of recovery? The attentive Brother Ming discovered the changes on the top of his head. The 4 characters, act on order, disappeared and were replaced by the 2 words, return to order. Although the amplification effect is missing, this state is particularly reassuring. Shanks, aren't you surrendering yet? Look at your ship, look at your comrades. Do you really want them to pay the price for your stubbornness? Hawkeye held Beckman in his hand while persuading him earnestly. It is unimaginable that the cold and cool male god Eagle Eye, who is known for his calmness and rationality, would also act like a mother-in-law. Shanks hesitated to speak, as heaven and man were at war in his heart. Surrender. Stop being ridiculous. I came to save the Whitebeard pirates, but ended up losing my wife and losing my troops. No surrender. What about Beckman? What about the safety of the crew? Ha 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 ha. Thief, Hawkeye, you have completed your mission, and you still want to sabotage Lousy's mission, right? The few people who received the imperial edict, except Blackbeard, all completed their tasks. Everyone is in the state of recovery, but Blackbeard is still in the state of acting on orders. He was not a fool. He became panicked after noticing something. Where there are rewards, there must be punishments. The rewards are so generous, and the punishments will be unimaginably severe. Besides, he doesn't want to be the first person. Be the first to get punished. Although he, Blackbeard, is shameless, he still needs to be shameless. Blackbeard, if you want to fight, I'll be with you anytime. Hawkeye drew his sword on the spot. He had been unhappy with this fat black man for a long time. Then give it a try. Currently, Blackbeard is still following orders, enjoying the effect of a 50% increase in all attributes. Not to mention Shanks, he can take care of it easily with the addition of Hawkeye. Kang. The 4 of Anka drew their guns and pointed them at Hawkeye. The younger brothers started fighting with Hawkeye, so Field Marshal Ace could not remain indifferent. The baboons of the Royal Forest Army were at war with each other, and the deputy commander of the Royal Forest Army, Doflamingo, had no choice but to stand up and express his position. The whole scene was suddenly filled with the smell of gunpowder. Is this a fight? Presumptuous. An angry shout, like thunder piercing the ears. The Emperor sitting on the Supreme Dragon chair has evil eyes, and the brilliance of the National Jade Seal in hand 2.2 is magnificent. If you receive orders from heaven, you will live a long and prosperous life. The sound of shouting is like thunder in the sky, reaching up to the sky and down to the netherworld. The world seemed to have pressed the pause button at this moment. Blackbeard and Hawkeye were both unable to control their bodies. They froze in place as if under a restraining spell, with only their eyes turning in fear. Anka activated the shocking ability of the Imperial Jade Seal. This move is incomprehensible to the ministers who have been canonized by him. Even a general like Hawkeye Blackbeard will be easily manipulated once the Jade Seal comes out. Moreover, Anka can also kill his subordinates at any time through the Imperial Seal. In this regard, Anka is invincible. Hawkeye, Fujitora, Ace, Crocodile, Doflamingo, you did a great job. Rewards. I have many rewards. 86 The Emperor's Mind. Shanks surrender. Advertise here. As soon as the word, reward, comes out, the words follow the law. A halo of light shot out from the Imperial Seal and poured into the bodies of Hawkeye and the others. The 2 golden characters, Fu Ming, also turned into light and disappeared. The power has become stronger. This was the first reaction of Hawkeye and others. At their level, their perception of their own power is extremely keen. Although the strength is a little weak, it has definitely become stronger after all. By the way, the Emperor's reward cannot be so shabby, right? All attributes increased by 1%. Although the data is relatively low, this increase is permanent. Although the data is a bit low, it can't stand up to his hardcore. Rewards like money and treasure are nothing compared to pure power. As the saying goes, my neighbor collects grain and I use my stun gun, and the neighbor is my granary. Only strength is the most important. There was no need to draw cakes this time, the subordinates themselves became excited. After completing a mission, all attributes of 23 will be permanently increased by 1%. What if you complete it 10 times, 20 times, or 100 times? Isn't it heaven-defying? Thank you, Lord, for your grace. A group of young men suddenly became very excited as they imagined the future. And Anka is not going to let this farce continue. He was timid before because he was just a paper tiger, useless. But now he has become a real tiger, and he is still a coward. Imperial engine. Just turn it on. Dong dong dong. The dull and rapid drumbeat suddenly sounded. It's the Imperial engine. My Emperor has entered combat mode. The younger brothers were shocked. This kind of favorable situation requires my Emperor to take action. Doesn't it mean that Lipu is very dissatisfied with their performance? Hateful. Blackbeard, who has not completed his mission so far, gritted his teeth and felt that his life was gloomy. No time to waste time. He must fight quickly. Great dark day. It's overwhelming. Dark fruit, Shock Fruit, the two top Devil Fruit abilities are fully activated. Blackbeard, who is following orders, activates two ultimate moves at the same time. He is already pissed off by Shanks. If Shanks can't be taken down, I'm afraid Anka will have to take him down first. The endless darkness covers the sky, birdcage, the internet, and the dark sky. The three scenes are intertwined to create a scene of destruction comparable to the apocalypse. High in the sky, the news outside the birdcage made the birds dumbfounded. Blackbeard strode into a horse stance and grasped with his right hand, grasping the air as if it were a curtain. The world is spinning and the river is turning upside down. The most powerful secret of Shock Fruit is to combine sea, air, and earthquake to exert the greatest power to destroy the world. Ha 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 ha. Fall into the endless darkness. Shanks. The terrifying world-destroying shock is just the appetizer. The real highlight is the secret of Dark Fruit, because of the dark sky. A huge black hole appears on the sea surface like a funnel, devouring everything crazily. Those members of the Red Hair Pirates and Whitebeard Pirates who were struggling in the water were all swallowed up by the darkness. The cadres were moving around constantly, but they could not escape the inevitable death situation. Even Shanks can't resist the power of Shock Fruit and Dark Fruit at the same time. That's enough teach. A radiant golden figure instantly appeared in front of Shanks. The Supreme Dragon chair under him has revealed his identity. Emperor Anka, sitting on the Supreme Dragon throne, the Emperor's domain will be expanded to the greatest extent, and he can teleport at will within the domain. Moreover, the Supreme Dragon chair also has the effect of flying, and it is a must if it has full maneuverability. In his imperial realm, he is the absolute king. Obey my emperor. No matter how many reluctances he felt in his heart, Blackbeard did not dare to disobey Anka's will. The Shock Fruit ability and Dark Fruit ability were immediately withdrawn, and the boundless darkness retreated like a tide. Shanks, I'm asking you, are you refusing to surrender? Anka stared at the other party with a sharp gaze that penetrated the soul. The imperial jade seal in his hand exuded circles of dragon scale ripples. This thing has endless uses, and the upper limit is endless. Anka's development of Yushi is still very basic at present. But it already has considerable power. For example, right now, Anka is using Yushi to activate a powerful mental suppression ability. Open black lens bracket Emperor's Mind technique, close black lens bracket. This move can bring huge psychological pressure to any enemy or friendly unit, and even have a chance of forcibly subduing the opponent. Similar to the ability of Buddhist enlightenment. He wants to try to forcefully convert the red-haired Shanks, the four emperors. And under the surveillance of the Emperor's mind, any thoughts of the target are transparent here in Anka. If Shanks wants to do a sneak attack or something, it's nothing short of wishful thinking. It's mind control ability. Shanks just felt a splitting headache and couldn't think. There are only two thoughts left in the brain. $573. Or not. At the same time, he received strong psychological suggestions that made him surrender. The biological instinct of seeking advantages and avoiding disadvantages made Shanks unable to overcome it. His willpower is very tenacious, but it is nothing compared to the Emperor's mental skills, and he is also vulnerable. Shanks. Hawkeye breathed out uneasily. The Emperor's mind skills did not affect them, but Shanks only had one target. In their eyes. At this time, Emperor Anka is sitting on the Supreme Dragon chair, wearing a golden dragon robe, holding the Emperor's sword, and using the traditional jade seal to emit dragon scale ripples to suppress Shanks. But Shanks looked in pain and couldn't even move. The situation is changing. The heavy feeling of oppression is almost solid. You don't need to think about it to know what terrible tricks Emperor Anka is using. Surrender. I surrender. I am willing to surrender to you, the great god-tier Emperor. Shanks, who was dripping with cold sweat, was finally heartbroken and decided to compromise. But the moment he chose to surrender, an extremely overbearing force forcibly transformed his thoughts, similar to the Buddhist transformation method. Directly accept Shanks as a loyal brother. Completely kill this overlord pride. 0.871 person defeats two emperors. Shock the world. Advertise here. Boom. The sound of your knees hitting the ground is so harsh and loud. Four emperors Shanks, surrender. This is definitely more shocking than the death of Whitebeard. The four emperors who rule the new world like emperors. The world's strongest man, Whitebeard, dies in battle. The youngest red-haired Shanks of the four emperors surrenders. Damn Shanks. Blackbeard was gritting his teeth and cursing angrily. When he realized that the command state above his head had changed to the recovery state, his face suddenly changed. What Shanks? This is my good colleague, good comrade in arms, and good brother. The edict given to him by Anka asked him to defeat Shanks, regardless of life or death, which meant that he could live. Now that Shanks has voluntarily surrendered to the silver power of Emperor Anka, Blackbeard has also been relieved. It feels so comfortable to lie down. Emperor's edict. Blackbeard mission completed, rewards are being distributed. Reward. Weong Palace. Weong Palace has multiple functions of defense, suppression, and amplification. It can be big or small, and can be changed as you wish. A mini palace appeared in Anka's hands. Great. Now even the palace is equipped. And it's also a multifunctional magic weapon palace. Does this rhythm really make you an emperor? Then I can definitely organize some kind of enthronement ceremony next. At that time, all the famous characters in the pirate world will be invited to participate. Witness yourself reaching the top and becoming a great treasure. Then, he would choose concubines arbitrarily, include them in the harem, spread their branches, and let his royal bloodline grow stronger. Anka thought happily, the days are getting more and more promising. But before that, the endgame must be dealt with first. With the control method of the Emperor's mind, these remnants of the Whitebeard pirates may not be unable to be used for their own purposes. It's just revenge for killing my father. Shanks, I will appoint you as the Admiral Army. Take charge of the Black Armor Army. Those who are controlled by the Emperor's mind can be canonized directly and are absolutely loyal. Anka assigned him another position and department. Admiral Army, Black Armor Army. Completely independent from the combat departments other than the Navy, Land and Air Imperial Guards. After all, Shanks is a majestic 4 emperors, how can he be inferior to others? I thank you Lord for your kindness. Shanks bow 3 times and kowtow 9 times, and are extremely pious. The Emperor canonizes and follows the law. Pieces of Hawkeye's mighty black iron armor appeared around Shanks, transforming him into the Kamui Admiral Army. The breath has also improved a lot. After being sealed, all attributes will increase by 100%. Now Shanks has become stronger than ever, and he has the confidence to fight Hawkeye for 300 rounds. Shanks. Hawkeye quickly stepped forward. He was very helpless towards his stubborn good friend. How sweet it is to surrender. Wouldn't it be better for you to surrender earlier? I have to force my emperor to convert you. My emperor's methods are extremely powerful, and spiritual attacks are extremely rare. What if Shanks' brain was damaged due to some kind of trauma? That would be such a loss. I'm fine now, Mahawk, I feel full of strength, you are no match for me now. Having also been banned and gained an increase, Shanks is now confident that he can overtake Hawkeye. Seeing this guy's face, Hawkeye breathed a sigh of relief. It seemed like there was nothing wrong with his head. He was simply transformed into a die-hard loyalist who could be canonized by spiritual attack. World Economic News Service. Do you see it? Morgans was dreaming and asked the assistant beside him in disbelief. Saw it. Buy one, get one free. After Emperor Anka eliminated Whitebeard, 4 emperors Shanks also took the initiative to send it to his door. The current emperor pirates will soon absorb the heritage and territory of the 4 emperors pirates. Gouda. The assistant swallowed hard and said in shock. Emperor Anka completely went berserk. Times have gone beyond control. The current emperor pirates are even more powerful than the original rocks. I'm afraid I can already compete with the world government. This is big news. Just write it like this. Emperor Anka, 1 person defeats 2 emperors. 4 emperors die and surrender. It's just 4 emperors, but the little king is not worth mentioning in front of the emperor. The new strongest man in the world, Emperor Anka. The emperors of the sea who rule the new world have also changed their dynasties, namely Kaido of the Beasts, Charlotte Linlin, and the legendary pirate Akoku. Please give me flowers. Then there is Emperor Anka. He is the ultimate overlord above the 4 emperors. He is the most legendary figure in 800 years. He is the pinnacle of pirates. Emperor Anka. Overly excited, Morgan's eyes were so bloodshot that they almost exploded. He danced wildly and commanded all the heroes. Now Anka is his thigh and cash cow, so naturally he will be praised crazily. Give me the maximum printing. Stop all work and print these newspapers first. This is big news that shocks the world and will make us a lot of money. Morgans has gone completely crazy. Point 0. He was going to stop printing all the newspapers in his hands and give priority to printing today's incident of 1 man defeating 2 emperors. In addition, prepare 5 billion belly, and I will personally visit and send gifts to the emperor. At this time, Morgan suddenly had a brain. Anka has become the undoubted overlord of the new world. If he doesn't visit us and send us gifts and congratulations, he will no longer be the king of news. If I continue to pick at him, Anka will pluck out his hair. Marco. Chowzi. You have already lost. You have lost everything. You have lost everything. Anka sat on the Supreme Dragon chair and teleported in front of the Whitebeard pirates. These guys were firmly suppressed by Fujitora and could not move. At this moment, he is looking at Anka with hatred and despair. This guy has a grudge against them for killing his father. There is a sworn feud between them. But he is too strong. So powerful that it makes people despair. So powerful that they can't see any hope. Whitebeard is dead. Submit to me, and I will be buried. Give him a grand and luxurious funeral. Otherwise. You don't want me to humiliate Whitebeard's body. Anka's tone has an inexplicable meaning. This emperor who has been possessed since childhood, please wake up first. This. Sure enough, Whitebeard is the weakness of Marco and his friends. Hearing what Anka said, several people hesitated instantly. 88 go to Raftel and block the door. Advertise here. Although Whitebeard is dead, his body is still in the hands of the Emperor pirates. If because of them, Whitebeard's body was humiliated and he died without dignity, Marco and the others would never be able to forgive themselves. They hesitated immediately. Do you really want to surrender to the enemy who killed your father for the sake of your father? The Emperor's mind technique. Old silver coin and how could I miss such a good opportunity? Taking advantage of the fact that several people were shaken, they immediately used the Imperial Jade Seal to activate their mental suppression. Circles of dragon scale ripples spread out from the jade seal, filling the entire place. Don't you, the Whitebeard pirates, respect your father? Then I will use Whitebeard as a breakthrough. Take control of your sons by force. Shanks at the level of 4 emperors can at least resist a little bit of the emperor's mind. But Marco Bista and these little Karami don't even have the slightest ability to resist the 840. Moreover, Anka caught the flaw of Whitebeard. It crushed everyone's resistance like a stone. Following the successful use of the emperor's mental technique, Anka immediately signaled Kuohu to let go of the group of people. Boom, boom. Like dominoes, the officers of the Whitebeard pirates knelt down one by one. Greetings to our great god-tier emperor. Long live my emperor. Long live. Degree success. Then you can take full ownership of the legacy of the Whitebeard pirates. Greedy Anka wants to swallow every inch of Whitebeard's flesh and blood. Marco accepts the title. I designate you as a former general, a member of the Black Armor Army of the Admiral Army. Chao Zi Ting Feng. I will make you General Zuo, subordinate to the Zhonjia Army of the Admiral Army. Bista accepts the title. I designate you as the Right General, subordinate to the Black Armor Army of the Admiral Army. Brahmanka sealed. Anka also consecrated the members of the Whitebeard pirates who had been converted. The 15 captains were conferred in order according to their rank as generals. True to their word, sets of powerful armors give the officers of the Whitebeard pirates a brand new look. Then organize them all into Shanks' Black Armor Army. The red and white balls are most suitable together. The position of Cavalry General was reserved for Beckman, and the position of Cavalry General was reserved for Usopp. It is a pity that the current Red Hair Pirates cadres have not completely returned to their original mission and cannot be canonized. But now that the red hair has gone down, it will only be a matter of time before these people are convinced. Anka is not in a hurry. Marco, contact the more than 30 pirate groups under the Whitebeard pirate group and ask them to come and meet within 2 days. Anka does not intend to let go of these forces. Dozens of pirate groups and tens of thousands of people are enough to quickly build a stable power for your great empire. If you follow the decree, the country will be rich and ruined. Marco saluted respectfully, then took out his phone and started to make contact. At first, those pirate groups were afraid of being implicated, so they tried to distance themselves from the Whitebeard pirates. After Marco made his position clear, these guys suddenly changed their faces. One after another expressed their willingness to work hard for the emperor. Go through fire and water, no matter what. Perfect interpretation of what a face is. My emperor, no one in these pirate groups dares to disobey you. After hanging up the phone, Marco and the others were inevitably a little sad. Half a day ago, they, the Whitebeard pirates, were saying that Tiantian should not respond and that the Earth would not work. This will rely on the power of the emperor. How ironic that he can control the wind and rain again. Well, let's go to the largest island in the New World and let these guys speed up. The Supreme Dragon chair flashed, and Anka teleported back to the ship. Now that this war has come to an end, he needs to find a place to arrange his own Weong Palace. Then choose concubines and concubines. Enrich the harem. How can an emperor do without a palace? How can an emperor do without a concubine? It's unbelievable. Is this the trick of thick lips? Lao Sha was dumbfounded. Even if you kill someone's father, you can still call someone else's son. This operation is so cool. The ability to control minds is simply terrifying. He is truly worthy of being my emperor. It is our honor to be able to follow my emperor. Look, the emperor has come to the New World. The next step is to become the pirate king. The so-called admiral, 4 emperors, all stand aside in front of my emperor. Doflamingo patted Lao Sha on the shoulder and stepped on the line to board the spacecraft. Ace next to him nodded in agreement and flew back to the boat. They all firmly believe that Anka will be the one to change everything. Hateful. Among such people, the only one who is unhappy is Blackbeard. Unexpectedly, the Whitebeard pirates survived, and now his life will be difficult. But with the fighting power of him and Ace's 4 emperors, those guys can't ride on him yet. No, your deputy. It would be great to surrender as soon as possible. Why are there so many things happening? I have to force my emperor to do it. Hawkeye throws Beckman to Shanks like a dead dog. Snap. He slapped Beckman awake with 2 slaps, then threw Usopp and others away, and Shanks walked over with a smile. That's great, Marco. You are finally mine now. He has always been greedy for Brother Ma. Every time I see Marco, I always poach him. Now it's good, I got the other party directly and completely. Shanks. Marco and the others were in a good mood, at least they had an old acquaintance with their boss. The colleagues are also nice. Only Blackbeard, that disgusting man who was forced to raise him. Anka can suppress the Whitebeard pirate group's hatred for itself, but it cannot suppress their hatred for Blackbeard. Or maybe he is very happy to see this situation. The way of an emperor, how can you do it if you don't have the ability to check and balance with one hand? The largest island in New World is Hive Island in the center of New World. It is known as the Pirate Paradise and the birthplace of the pirate game. On the ship, Doflamingo is reporting to Anka. As an underground king who takes all things black and white, and a veteran of New World, Doflamingo has a very detailed understanding of this place. 3.4. It is perfect for him to be Anka's New World consultant. Beehive Island. I changed my mind. Everyone is approaching Shuixianxing Island. Narcissus Island is the final island in the ordinary pirate world map. It is also the portal of Raftel. And Ka has decided he is going to block the door at Raftel. Anyway, Robin is in his hands. Collect the historical texts and enter Raftel, and it will be a matter of time before he becomes the pirate king. It won't be too late that day, according to the order. Doflamingo nodded, then called on Deus and Fujitora to change direction. Due to the destruction of the Red Hair Pirates and Whitebeard Pirates ships, this group of guys can only be transported by Fujitora using wooden planks and rocks. If you encounter an unlucky pirate along the way, just rob the ship. 89 Weong Palace, Silk Road. Advertise here. Narcissus Island is the last island in New World and the final island on the map. To go to Narcissus Island, you have to cross the entire New World. These include 4 emperors, Anti's territory, 10,000 kingdoms. But with the support of the Lion Fruit and Gravity Fruit's 2 major flying abilities, the Imperial Pirate's mobility is fully maximized. It only takes 1 day to reach your destination. So many flying ships. Damn it, you dare to break into our airspace of all nations without permission, press. The moment the Minister of Nations, Charlotte Daifuku, discovered the group of spaceships, he was so angry that he was ready to attack. They are the 4 Emperor's pirates, and their territorial sovereignty is inviolable. What fly is worthy of flying above their heads? The pirates and homies took action one after another, with guns, cannons, and various long-range attack methods all targeting the sky. Everyone stop it. A sharp shout stopped everyone. Looking for the voice, the person speaking was a tall man with a height of 5 meters and a sense of oppression. The highest masterpiece of the Charlotte family. Battle-hardened and never defeated. Have the ability to foresee the future and never fight a battle that you are not sure of. A man whose back has been touching the ground since he was born, and who has always looked down at the earth. Charlotte Katakuri. At this time, Katakuri's eyes were flashing red, obviously activating observation Haki to foresee the future. What's wrong, Katakuri? Dafu was a little confused and didn't understand why his second brother suddenly lost his temper. The homies' soldiers also stopped moving. In the Big Mom Pirates, apart from Big Mom herself, Katakuri is the highest authority. Idiot, you almost killed the entire world. Katakuri couldn't help but give Daifuku a heavenly award. A large amount of cold sweat broke out on his forehead. Just now, he saw a terrifying and despairing future. An emperor stands in the void and suppresses the world. Under his command, extremely powerful followers destroyed entire nations. Even the ant was ravaged, and all that was left in the world were broken walls and wailing. That being doesn't even need to take action himself, his subordinates can destroy the entire world. What? Dafu was stunned for a moment. You know, Katakuri can see the future. Since he said this, it means that the guys on the spaceship are definitely not something he can mess with. No, it's a terrifying character that even the 4 emperors can't mess with. Can easily destroy all nations. Thinking of this, Yinfu's back was already soaked in cold sweat. I was too impulsive, so I deserved this slap. Idiot, look at that flag. Katakuri pointed to the flag, the skull with the crown. The identity of the opponent is obvious, the Emperor Pirates. It's the Emperor. Dafu was completely shocked now. If he provokes such a powerful enemy, his mother will definitely kill him. Watching the spaceship fleet leave, both of them breathed a sigh of relief. Although I wonder if the Emperor Pirates are not on Guy Island, why did they teleport here? But that's not what they should worry about. Bulu Bulu. Bulu Bulu. At this time, the phone bug dressed as an ant rang. It was my mother's phone. Coffee. Hey, Mom. Katakuri answered solemnly. The phone bug imitated the ant's tone and spoke calmly. Morgans gave me news that the Emperor Pirates defeated the Whitebeard Pirates in only half a day. And defeated the Red Hair Pirates who came to break up the fight with overwhelming force. Whitebeard died in battle, Shanks surrendered, and now the Emperor Pirates are the new kings. Preparing the highest level congratulatory gift, I want to personally congratulate the Emperor on his enthronement. You know what to do, right? My dear child, Katakuri. Auntie's words were full of threats. The meaning is clear. If you don't take care of things, I'll take care of you, you idiot. There is so much information in Auntie's words. Katakuri and Dafu were stunned on the spot, unable to recover for a long time. Defeat the Whitebeard Pirates in half a day. Kill Whitebeard. The Red Hair Pirates who broke up the fight in the past were also taken care of. This world is so crazy. It's impossible for the Red Hair Pirates, the Whitebeard Pirates, and the naval headquarters to be captured in such a short period of time. Emperor and Ka, so terrifying. Kaka. The ant hung up the phone directly, leaving Katakuri Daifuku and Katakuri looking at each other. B. Narcissus Island. After running around all night, the Emperor Pirates finally arrived at the final island. During this period, they robbed the ships of 5 pirate groups and filled them with the crew members of the Red Hair Pirates and Whitebeard Pirates. Deus was already somewhat unable to control the flight of 6 ships using Lion Fruit. Fortunately, Fujitora was on hand to assist and ensure the normal movement of the flying fleet. 513. Come out, Weong Palace. The Supreme Dragon Chair flashed, and Anka teleported to the sky above Narcissus Island. With a wave of his dragon robe, the mini palace came out of his hand. After Weong Palace came out, it quickly grew in size, almost covering the entire Narcissus Island in the blink of an eye. Carved with dragons and phoenixes, bricks and tiles, the main theme is luxury. Boom! Weong Palace fell to the ground brazenly, crushing everything on Narcissus Island. Except for Roger, almost no one comes to this island. The island is full of wild animals. If the cards are leveled, they will be leveled. With the completion of Weong Palace, a palace the size of an island was born out of thin air. The palace door opened, and a road made entirely of silk flew out of it. Silk Road. The Silk Road floated into the sky and chased Anka in front of the spacecraft to the feet of the dragon's seat. Spectacular. So spectacular. Witnessing all this happening with my own eyes, everyone's worldview was severely impacted. A huge palace the size of an island was created out of thin air. This palace also has bricks and tiles and silk-paved roads. It is extremely luxurious. So handsome, he is like a god. Bartolomeo screamed excitedly. He is right, with such extravagance, who else but the gods can be so generous? 90 Build a pirate empire. Start running rampant. First update. Advertise here. Weong Palace is so spectacular. This kind of epic legendary building is definitely not inferior to the wonders like Red Line. Because it is an incredible wonder in itself. Covering the entire giant island, the luxurious jewelry is so extravagant that it is like a dream, and it is simply not like the mortal world. My dear friends, please get off the boat. Anka left the Supreme Dragon chair and took the lead to step on the Silk Road. The soft and comfortable touch felt like enjoying a foot massage. This Silk Road is not simple either. If it is an enemy, the moment he steps on it, he will be wrapped in countless tough silks, just like an insect in a flytrap, dying in despair. It can be regarded as the first line of defense of Weong Palace. Those below the level of 4 emperors cannot even pass this level. Incredible. 343, Admiral Army Shanks appeared first behind Anka. He traveled around the world with Roger and saw countless scenery. But this is the first time I've seen someone so awesome. In comparison, the Golden Emperor's Golden Island ships are all younger brothers. This. Fujitora was even more shocked and speechless. Although he can't see it, his observation Hawkeye can see it clearly. This majestic and luxurious atmosphere, this magical method of creating things out of thin air, even he was extremely frightened. As expected of my emperor. Shanks, it would be great if you had surrendered earlier and followed my emperor. Look at our previous days, we were no different than beggars. Now that things have happened, Hawkeye will not be surprised by anything Anka does. The man he recognized was indeed terrifying. So cool. Bartolomeo's eyes gleamed, and he followed Anka's butt every step of the way. Brother Ming and Lao Sha were also shocked beyond measure. The big-hearted ace was fine, and Blackbeard and the others followed him cautiously. Now that both the red and white groups have merged into the Imperial Pirates and become the Black Armor Army, they are at war with each other at every turn. During this time, Blackbeard was very annoyed by Marco's group of guys. I hope Anka can move the two departments further apart soon. Enter Weong Palace. Everyone entered the Grand View Garden like Grandma Lu. Everyone was dazzled, dizzy, and their eyes were straight. Anka just likes the look of the younger brothers who have never seen the world. He hasn't seen it either. But as the owner of this place, the structure of Weong Palace is already clear to Anka. He led everyone to the court hall with ease, and the Supreme Dragon chair appeared at the top. Nka was filled with imperial pressure, and he climbed to the highest position in leaps and bounds. Long live my emperor! Long live! Bartolomeo, the loyal bitch, was the first to roar at the top of his lungs. Long live my emperor! Long live! Shanks, Ace, Fujitora, Hawkeye, Blackbeard, Ming Jie, Lao Sha and many other strong men all surrendered. This scene is for Ahame. Epic and spectacular. Everyone loves you. This will be my palace from now on, and Narcissus Island will be our base. In a week, I will perform the enthronement ceremony here and establish the Dragon Pressing Kingdom. On the dragon chair, Anka's voice was loud and clear, and the oppressive eyes behind the bead curtain made people shudder. A draw between the two emperors. Enel's Arc Proverbs has also been built and is on its way here. That's almost it now. You can start the rampage mode. With a thought, the power of the Emperor's edict is activated. Dragons and phoenixes are dancing, and lines of text appear on the edict according to his mind. As per the old rules, Ba Tuo simply declared the eunuch. Blessed by heaven, the Emperor decreed. Ba Tuo cleared his throat and spoke solemnly. Field Marshal Ace heard the order and ordered you to lead your troops to invite the 4 emperors and to witness the enthronement of our emperor. And get the other parties' road sign history text, there must be no mistakes. That's right, and Ka's next goal is the historical text. He wants all the historical texts in Aunt Kaido's hands. The current 4-speed ace is already at the level of 4 emperors. Plus Blackbeard, a dual fruit ability user, invites Big Mom. Such a big battle cannot be wasted. It's not too much to ask her for a historical text. I accept the decree. Long live my emperor. Long live my emperor. Ace immediately accepted the order, unable to conceal his excitement in his tone. That's 10,000 nations. It is said that even the house is made of food. I won't leave him alone until I eat him. The imperial edict turned into a stream of light and forced itself into the bodies of everyone in the army. For a time, Ace, Blackbeard and everyone were buff who acted on orders. What are you waiting for? Let's go. Auntie, here we come. Admiral Army Shanks heard the order and ordered you to lead your troops to invite Kaido of the Beasts to come and witness our emperor's enthronement. Why? And get the other party's road sign history text, there must be no mistakes. Botter read out the next decree. There are 3 known historical texts of road signs, one is in Zou, and the remaining 2 are in the hands of Kaido. With the current influence of the imperial pirates, it is easy to obtain the historical text of these 3 road signs. I accept the decree, long live my emperor. Shanks immediately accepted the order. Let him lead his troops to find Kaido, and of course he will take the 2 4 emperor's regiments, the red and white regiments, and the entire Xuanjia army. And he was still acting under orders. Although a few people like Beckman were not canonized and did not enjoy the increase. But he can still beat up Kaido. The commander-in-chief of the Royal Forest Army, Yingyan, has listened to the order and ordered you to be responsible for guarding the safety of Weong Palace and presiding over the enthronement ceremony without any mistakes. Crocodile, the Royal Guard, has heard the order and ordered you to be responsible for inviting all the forces in the new world. There must be no mistakes in 5.4. The Minister of Dali Temple, Fujitora, ordered you to search for Zuowu and obtain the historical text of the road signs in it. There must be no mistakes. Appreciate this. After reciting 3 more edicts one after another, Ba Tuo's mission was finally over. And Ka's ambition is unabashed. Since he wants to build a pirate empire, he must invite all the pirates in the new world to witness it. Who dares not to give face? And this time, he aimed at 3 road signs and historical texts, and he was only 1 step away from Raftel. Next step. Just put pressure on the government. Obtain Shichibukai's vest yourself, and then make your Yulong Empire a member of the world government. Start officially cleaning up, then take it all in black and white and become a true emperor. 91 This newspaper. Really. Second update. Advertise here. I accept the order. Long live my emperor. The remaining ministers were ordered to retire. In contrast, Fujitora has the easiest task of finding the historical text of road signs. There are so many forces in the new world that it would be a test of Lao Sha's ability not to leave behind every prominent character. He lives in the front half of the Grand Line and has not been to New World for a long time. And to invite so many forces, the banquet that needs to be held must be extremely complicated and prosperous. This requires the work of Eagle Eye. Eagle Eye and the baboons first stationed themselves at various checkpoints in Weong Palace. They first ensured safety and security, and then started planning the banquet and so on. The stealing master baboons were originally afraid of Anka's power, and were bombarded by him many times with his aura, and also used the emperor's mental skills. Fighting alone, these stealing baboons are more powerful than pirates with tens of millions of bounties on their heads. The best among them can even defeat a big pirate with a bounty of hundreds of millions. The emperor's heart surgery completely returned to his heart, and he still acted under orders. Now the little baboons who stole the teacher became even more skillful than homies. 28 inches It's really amazing. We actually gained some authority over the defense mechanism of Weong Palace. Eagle Eyes, who felt something in his heart, closed his eyes and tasted it carefully, looking intoxicated. Yes, that's right. Their mission is to garrison Weong Palace, so Hawkeye and the baboons also gained part of the authority of Weong Palace's defense mechanism while acting on orders. As long as they think the visitor is suspicious, they can mobilize the Silk Road and suppression capabilities on the spot to attack the invading enemy. This feeling is like being integrated with this magnificent building. Even viewing Kakuzu from the perspective of Weong Palace is simply heaven-defying. Do whatever you want, like a fish in water. Hawkeye's concentration was so strong that all the baboons next to him began to howl like ghosts. The new world is too big. If you want to invite every force in 1 week, you must bring Deus here. It's too time-consuming and laborious to search one by one. Lao Sha has a better idea, which is to hire Ace's labor force for free. The power of New World is not complex at all. When ordinary pirates enter the New World, they either choose to join the 4 emperors or choose to challenge the 4 emperors. Therefore, apart from the 4 emperors, there are almost no other forces. But the remaining forces are either dark industries that coexist with the 4 emperors, or they are hard problems that make even the 4 emperors feel troublesome. A new world that even One Piece Roger and the 4 emperors cannot completely unify. Now Lao Sha goes on a trip to integrate everyone. To be honest, if he didn't rely on the big tree of Anka, Lao Sha would definitely become a clown. The most difficult 4 emperors, Kaido and Big Mom, have been handed over to Shanks and Ace. Lao Sha's current workload has been reduced a lot. Where are Ace and the others? Arriving at the empty port, Lao Sha drew his sword and looked around at a loss, his head buzzing. Where are people? Left already? So fast. Wow, Ace is so stupid, relying on his subordinates who have lion fruit abilities, he can run too fast. Forget it, it's better to rely on yourself than relying on others. You can stay here and help prepare the banquet. I can go by myself. Since they didn't borrow Deus, the subordinates like Brother Feng and others have become tired. Lao Sha plans to turn into sand and fly on his own, trying to cover the entire new world within a week. He acts under orders and has almost unlimited physical strength. This is the source of his arrogance. Yes, Xiaofeng and the others nodded, and the status of their orders flashed on their heads. The post was transformed into a garrison, and he immediately gained some authority over Weong Palace. Okay. Very user-friendly. New World. IWC. Cake Island. The sun is bright and vibrant, and all kinds of cute anthropomorphic homies with human faces sing loudly, making the entire island look like a fairy tale world. In the cake castle, a huge shadow was sitting on the bed, singing softly and in a beautiful mood. Mom, it's not good. The soldier rushed into the room in a panic, holding a layer of newspapers in his hands. The chanting of the huge shadow suddenly stopped, and the tiger wolf-like eyes stared down, and the oppressive feeling like falling into an ice cave instantly made the soldier's hands and feet cold. The most powerful woman in the world, the Four Emperor's aunt. He is more than 8 meters tall, and his huge mouth is 1 meter long. The sulfuric acid-like saliva is extremely corrosive. It sizzles when it drops on the ground and burns through the floor. Mummy, how dare you ruin my good mood? You are looking for death. Without any explanation, the aunt immediately took away the entire lifespan of that unlucky little soldier. Then he picked up the newspaper on the ground half-heartedly. After just one glance, everyone in Bigumum was dumbfounded. Shocked. The 4 emperors, the emperors of the sea who came to the New World, died in just half a day. Stare the world's strongest man, Whitebeard, to death. It is said that no one can look into this man's eyes for more than 2 minutes. The most domineering man among the 4 emperors, Shanks, chooses to surrender. All members of the Whitebeard pirates and Red Hair pirates merge into the Emperor pirates. One Piece. Emperor Anka is preparing to establish the Jade Dragon Kingdom on Narcissus Island. This is the moment of the century. 110 This is nothing. The gimmicky title couldn't be more exaggerated. The content also praises the Emperor Anka extremely. And there are also exciting live broadcasts. Emperor Pirates Single Play Whitebeard Pirates Red Hair Pirates Double 4 Emperors Group. This newspaper. It's fake. Looking at it twice, I was immediately stunned. The aunt's first reaction was definitely disbelief. Although she already knew that the Emperor Pirates defeated the Whitebeard Pirates in just half a day. But the Emperor Anka stared Whitebeard to death with just his eyes. After killing Whitebeard, he recruited his sons. Could something so outrageous really happen? No novel would dare to be written like this. After reading the newspaper many times, the aunt finally couldn't stand it anymore. If this newspaper is true, then just this newspaper can scare her into a dog. Bulu bulu, bulu bulu. Hey, Morgans, you have a live broadcast over there, right? Price is not an issue. Send me a copy. Then, Andy spent a lot of money to buy a live replay from Morgans. Then he watched the whole process in silence. The old woman suddenly felt the urge to smoke. Is it too late for me to surrender now? 92A man scarier than rocks. First update. Advertise here. That's right, the ant can't even generate a little resistance. Whitebeard, the red-haired girl, was killed by others as soldiers. What can she be so arrogant about? Emperor Anka, this man is definitely more terrifying than Rocks ever was. Mom, the Emperor Pirates are here. Katakuri, the head of the stars, pushed the door open and entered. As an army with the lion fruit ability, it has the highest mobility. Ace and his team arrived at Wangguo in almost half an hour. Now the ship has docked at the port of Cake Island, and is being received by Parosparrow, the eldest son of the Charlotte family. Emperor. The ant who had not yet come to her senses was shocked when she heard these 2 words. I'll go and greet you personally. Her fat and bloated body quickly rose up and rushed out like flying. Stepping on Zeus, he rushed to the port, 003, for fear of neglecting the messenger of the Emperor Pirates. Cake Island Port. Hello, distinguished envoy of the Imperial Pirates, I am Parosparrow, the candy minister of all nations, and I am happy to serve you. PLZ follow me. Parosparrow, who was tall and slender and wore heavy makeup, cautiously greeted Ace and his group. The eldest son of the Charlotte family, whose bounty is as high as 700 million Baileys, is being polite at this time. The newspapers flying all over the sky today are clearly written, with pictures and the truth. The Red Hair Pirates and the Whitebeard Pirates combined are not enough to defeat the Emperor Pirates. And now the Emperor Pirates have absorbed the power of 2 4 Emperors groups. Let alone him, Parosparrow, even if it was Big Mom herself. You would never dare to fart loudly in front of the messengers of the Imperial Pirates. As expected, there is food all over the floor. The moment he saw Cake Island, Ace's eyes lit up like a wild horse running wild. He rushed out immediately. The person disappeared on the spot. I'm sorry, our marshal is a bit nervous. Let's discuss the specific matters. Why? Let me introduce you, I am the Vice Marshal of the Imperial Pirates, Blackbeard. If the marshal runs away, of course the deputy marshal must step forward. Blackbeard was very speechless. It was really miserable for him to have such an unlucky boss. Parosparrow stared blankly in the direction Ace left. The field marshal of the Imperial Pirates is really as willful as his mother. His eyes returned to Blackbeard and his party again. The exquisite armor made Parosparrow marvel. Is this the creation of the Emperor? It looks even better than Mom's homies. God tier. There are also the 4 big words of, acting according to orders, that are popular, which should also be the method of the emperor. This is so cool. Ahem. Nice to meet you, Deputy Marshal Blackbeard. Perospero smiled flatteringly and shook hands with Blackbeard, not forgetting to wink at Dafu Owen behind him. Hurry up and chase Entei Ace. We can't afford it if something happens to the Marshal of the Emperor Pirates in our territory. Dafuku Owen understood immediately and hurried to chase Ace. Oh my god, is he really human? This is the territory of the 4 emperors, and this guy is actually 5. I remember this man, the Entei Ace with a bounty of 1.3 billion belly. The people's exclamations aroused the idea of the 2 brothers. After rushing to the scene as quickly as possible, Irving Dafu was stunned to find that Ace had already eaten up an entire street. Houses, furniture, everything is stuffed into the mouth, leaving nothing behind. It is said that the place where Jack the Drow passes is as desolate as a drought. And you, my friend Ace, you are the real drought. What to do? Dafu Owen looked at each other. Although the house furniture is edible, it is illegal to destroy the house furniture in Wangguo. The glass was all managed by Perospero, and the house was all managed by Cracker. This forced Ace destroys a street, but this guy is the Marshal of the Emperor Pirates. They have no control at all. Let him eat it. I won't believe that his small body can eat up the entire town. Owen said angrily. The 2 brothers were following Ace, not to protect Ace, but to protect themselves from being accidentally injured by Ace. Or to prevent some blind fools from getting into trouble with Ace and causing trouble for Mom. That's what happened. My emperor is going to ascend the throne in a week. At that time, all the famous people in the New World will be there. I hope Big Mom and everyone from your Big Mom Pirates will be there by then. In addition, the emperor is very interested in the historical text of the road sign in your hand. Blackbeard smiled evilly. Although his words were polite, his tone was extremely arrogant. He is now a dual fruit power user and an important official of the Emperor Pirates. And he was acting under orders. Not to mention Perospero, this little calamai, Blackbeard doesn't even take his aunt seriously. I invite you to give you face, don't be shameless. In addition, if we want the historical text of the road sign, you must obediently serve it with both hands. Otherwise, Blackbeard will take it himself. This. Quote. Perospero was instantly sweating. They will definitely go to the coronation ceremony. But he can't decide on something as important as the historical text of the road sign. And why is this deputy marshal of the Imperial Pirates who appears out of nowhere so arrogant? I have never heard of this person before. Don't want to. Dark water. Stretching out his left hand, Blackbeard raised his eyebrows and started to do it. He is not a religious man. Dark fruit ability activates. An irresistible and terrifying suction force emitted from his hand, directly capturing Perospero. In just an instant, 0.6 Perospero's expression changed drastically. My ability to lick fruit has disappeared. What is the principle? Damn it, this deputy marshal of the Imperial Pirates is definitely a ruthless character. Brother Perospero. Everyone in the Charlotte family felt like they were facing a formidable enemy, and they all prepared to rescue Perospero. But Blackbeard and everyone in the army were not afraid at all. Fanoka, Lafitte, Badgers, Deus and others all put on fighting postures, their swords at war with each other. And Blackbeard's right hand suddenly exerted force, and a milky white halo wrapped around his palm. Shock fruit ability. At this moment, the world seems to have pressed the pause button. Everyone looked at Blackbeard in horror. 4 Emperor's Whitebeard's abilities, how could he be so inferior to him? 93 so arrogant that I can't be arrogant anymore. Second update. Advertise here. Ha 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 ha. Shocked. Bang. Accompanied by Blackbeard's wild laughter, Shock Fruit's house was smashed into the air. The space was cracked, and extremely destructive concussive shock waves swept out. Hateful. Just the shock from the residual power caused everyone in the Big Mom Pirates to fall on their feet. If this blow is carried out, the consequences can be imagined. Group destruction is the lightest. Wei Guo. At this critical moment, another devastating attack came first. Black and red thunder flashes, and Conqueror's Hawkeye wraps its sword waves into the sky, like a natural disaster that will destroy the world. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Mars hits the earth. The shock fruit ability and the boss sword wave hit each other hard, and they were almost the same at first. But soon, the concussive shock wave gained the absolute upper hand. With the power of breaking bamboo, he defeated the Conqueror's winding sword wave. Guard of all nations. The ant frowned. Obviously she didn't expect that she would be at a disadvantage even after using the shrinking sword wave. 28. In a hurry, you can only use armament Hawkeye to resist. Sizzle. Sparks and lightning flew out wildly, and Auntie was shocked to find that even armament Hawkeye couldn't stop it. In the end, I can only rely on my steel balloon physique with copper skin and iron bones to endure the damage. Who the hell are you? Fight against Blackbeard who was acting on orders. The downtrodden ant looked solemn. This little fat black guy is new and unknown, but he possesses Whitebeard's shock fruit, and he's as powerful as a monster. This world is so crazy. Big Mom, lousy as the Vice Marshal Blackbeard of the Emperor Pirates. I came here this time for 2 purposes. First, I inform you that you will attend my Emperor's enthronement ceremony in 1 week. This is to give you face. 2, hand over the historical text of the road sign. Facing 4 Emperors Big Mom, Blackbeard is not timid at all. He acted according to orders, and except for my Emperor, Wong and Ka, he has never failed to intimidate anyone. Big Mom, the weakest 4 Emperors, he didn't take seriously at all. Although Blackbeard now has 4 Emperors level combat capabilities. But it is still unknown and not well known. The main reason is that the position of Morgan's newspapers does not even promote Anka. How is it possible to give Blackbeard the screen? Vice Marshal. Auntie was silent. Just a deputy marshal has the power to crush himself. Then Marshal Zheng wants to go to heaven. And cadres of this level are not a small number in the Emperor Pirates. No wonder the Red Hair Pirates and Whitebeard Pirates are not enough to fight together. I'm afraid that together with myself and Kaido, we're not even strong enough. With the popularity of Emperor Anka, the power structure of the Emperor Pirates has also been made public. First of all, there is the Absolute King, the Emperor Anka. Commander of the Imperial Guard Mahawk. Deputy Commander of the Imperial Guard Doflamingo. Crocodile, Commander of the Jin Yue. Air Marshal Enel, Field Marshal Ace, Marine Marshal Jinbei. Dolly Temple Minister Fujitora smiled. Black Armor Army Admiral Army Red-Haired Shanks needless to say. The Xuanjia Army under his command integrated the 2-4 Emperors groups, the Red Group and the White Group. It was simply terrifying. In the entire Imperial Pirates, the 4 known strong generals include Eagle Eyes, Green Tiger, and Red-Haired Beckman. And now this Deputy Field Marshal Blackbeard actually has the power of a general. You can also stabilize yourself. Presumably Field Marshal Ace's strength has also risen to the level of 4 Emperors. There are so many powerful generals and emperors, and there are even more shichibukai, the deputy. With their combat power alone, the Imperial Pirates can defeat the naval headquarters. Being able to control so many strong men, Emperor Anka is definitely stronger than Roger, the Pirate King, and stronger than Rox. The more she thought about it, the more frightened she became. This level of dispute is not enough for my own bastards. If we provoke the Emperor Pirates, we may not even see the sun tomorrow. Compared with one's own life, a mere road sign and historical text are not worth mentioning. Anyway, with the rise of the Emperor Pirates, it is a certainty that Emperor Anka will become the Pirate King. It doesn't matter if you hand over the historical text. I will give you the historical text of the road sign, but I can only give you the rubbing copy. I will keep the original historical text. This is Auntie's biggest concession. As for rubbings, Roger One Piece also made rubbings of her historical text. This is not unacceptable. Auntie's dream is also to be the Pirate King. The prerequisite for becoming the Pirate King is to reach Raftel, and the historical text of the road sign is an indispensable key. Although an emperor suddenly emerged from the sky, Auntie's fantasy was not shattered. This generation of One Piece can't do it. At worst, she can wait until Anka dies and become the 3rd generation Pirate King. Anyway, such things as road signs and historical texts are definitely indispensable. Even if I won't be able to use it in my lifetime, the descendants of my Charlotte family may not be able to use it. Rubbings. Stop fooling lousy with this kind of stuff. Old woman. Hand over the original text of the road sign history. 083. Now Blackbeard is just shy of being arrogant. Just making rubbings and sending them away to beggar. He is the Emperor's messenger, an angel. I came here in a hurry and took 2 rubbings back. Isn't it embarrassing? Not only will he lose face with Anka, will also be overwhelmed by Shanks. This is the most unacceptable thing for Blackbeard. He didn't need to think about it to know that the red-haired Shanks, who led the 2 members of the 4 Emperors group, the Red Group and the White Group, were acting under orders. I can definitely get the text of Kaido's road sign history, and it won't be a bad thing if I don't beat Kaido to shit. He is definitely not far behind. Damn it, I really thought I was a soft persimmon. Fire from heaven. I can't bear it anymore. No need to bear it anymore. Auntie has never been so depressed since she went to sea at the age of 5. How dare a little messenger dare to provoke him like this, and ask for the original text of the road sign's history, shattering his dream of becoming the Pirate King. The Emperor Pirates are too bullying. My uncle can bear it, but my aunt can't. The big hand grabbed Prometheus hard, and the little sun with a sunny smile suddenly entered the runaway mode. The cute cartoon sun suddenly turned into a ferocious scorching sun. The raging flames set off a billowing heat wave and headed straight for Blackbeard. 94 Marine must be having a meeting again. 3rd update. Advertise here. Congratulations, you are free. Facing the flames coming towards his face, Blackbeard calmly threw away Parosparrow in his left hand. It's like throwing away garbage. Then Dark Fruit's ability suddenly exploded. Dark Well. With a loud roar, dark energy burst out. Like a tide, endless. A mere flame and a small sun may not be able to illuminate the darkness. Little sun, Big Mom, and the whole world. He doesn't pay attention to them all. Ha ha ha, ha 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 ha. Blackbeard smiled evilly, Dark Fruit activated with all its strength, and a huge amount of dark matter spewed out for free. His left hand seemed to turn into a black hole spewing energy, and the boundless darkness extended out, swallowing Prometheus in the blink of an eye. Blackbeard, who is following orders, is terrifyingly powerful. Even if Whitebeard Roger was at his peak, he would still have to fight twice. Quote exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark quote. The sounds of gasping for air kept coming and going. Isn't this fat black guy a person with shock fruit ability? Why did he suddenly use another devil fruit's ability? And this kind of large-scale attack is obviously within the scope of Logia. Damn it. Dual fruit ability user. No novel would dare to be written like this. Another devil fruit ability. The ant was also extremely shocked. The worldview that I had lived for decades was completely overturned at this moment. Some people can actually eat 2 devil fruits at the same time without exploding. Even monsters like her and Kaido can't do such outrageous things. How did he do that? What kind of monster are you? A look of fear appeared on the ant's bloated face. It is a kind of human's instinctive fear of things beyond their own knowledge. But the next moment, Auntie's mushy brain instinctively thought of it. If I had a child with this fat black man, wouldn't I be able to obtain the highest masterpiece of double fruit substance that surpasses category? Ha 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 ha. The left hand is the most ferocious devil fruit, so naturally it will be the dark fruit. The right hand is the strongest paramesha devil fruit, paramesha shock fruit. Listen to Lousy. Lousy's name is Marshal D. Teach. The vice marshal of the Imperial Pirates, Blackbeard. Blackbeard laughed. Dark fruit ability and shock fruit ability appeared on his left and right hands respectively. Darkness and earthquakes achieve a miraculous symbiosis in his body. He wants everyone to remember his name. Let everyone know that he is the vice marshal of the Imperial Pirates. To establish your authority, let's start with Big Mom. Narcissus Island. Weong Palace. Doflamingo, the deputy commander of the Royal Forest Army, was standing guard with a few baboons who had stolen from him. His subordinate Diamandi was with him. The remaining cadres of Don Quixote are still in Dressrosa, and the property cannot be transferred there in a short time. However, Brother Ming has already made plans to shift his focus. There are many islands around Narcissus Island. You can even ask Deus, the lion fruit user, to move Dressrosa over. Anyway, there is lion fruit, a big killer. And Ka is also ready to let go completely. Dressrosa, Hawkeye's island, Whitebeard's territory island and Shanks' territory island. And Ka is planning to move all the islands here and stitch them together into a continent with Narcissus Island as the center. And then blocked Raftel tightly. He is planning to build a continent in the island world of One Piece. Then build your own country and political power on it. Echoing the world government, and then having a king-to-king battle with the queen on the throne of the void. Dover, when that lord ascends the throne, will Torapal and the others come? Diamandi asked cautiously, looking excited. He didn't forget those good friends. It is definitely an honor for them to witness the moment when the Emperor and Kai ascends the throne. How can such a good thing be done without brothers? Phew, foo, foo foo. Of course, I won't let them miss this epic scene. The ruthless Doflamingo still values his family members. The legendary emperor who dominates the new world ascends the throne. It would be a shame to miss this epic scene. Especially since he is also the deputy commander-in-chief of the Royal Forest Army, and his younger brother's background is so tough that he can't catch up, so that's what triggered it. There was a ripple in the space. While the two were talking, an extremely powerful power suddenly came over. Everyone and the baboon seemed to have been cast on a body-holding spell, frozen in place. A golden figure filled with oppression appeared in front of everyone. It's the Supreme Dragon Chair, and Anka sitting on it. The Emperor's face is hidden behind the bead curtain, and the sharp gaze that directly strikes the soul has almost turned into reality. Staring at Doflamingo made his skin and soul hurt. Quote. Doflamingo, dear, you now have a new mission. Quote. Marine should be in a meeting at this time. I order you to enter the naval headquarters and ask for a shichibukai spot for me. The 4 big characters of, follow your words and act according to your orders, flashed in a flash. Doflamingo mission update. I obey the decree. After suppressing all the doubts in his heart, Doflamingo respectfully agreed. Seeing this, Nka nodded slightly, and the person in the dragon chair disappeared in an instant. Come in a hurry, go in a hurry. The main theme is that a god, money, appears and appears. He also plans to kidnap the little old man Vegapunk. Phew foo foo foo. I'll go to the naval headquarters. Diamandi, you take the baboons to continue the security work. After the mission was updated, Doflamingo stopped talking nonsense and simply stepped on his left foot and ascended to the sky. As long as there are clouds in the sky, he will go to heaven. In the past Doflamingo was submissive, but now Doflamingo strikes hard. The king's destiny is everything. Enter naval headquarters single-handedly. Funny, he is the imperial envoy of the Emperor Pirates. Who dares to touch him? The Emperor was so angry that he laid down millions of corpses. And they still come to be shichibukai. With my Emperor's strong character, becoming a shichibukai is like smoking from the government's ancestral graves. Promote them. The government must be secretly overjoyed to receive such a powerful boost. 95 The name of the Emperor. Marine is afraid. Brand new bounty. First update. Advertise here. Naval headquarters. Marineford's highest conference room. As expected, Marine was in a meeting again. There was wine and meat, and the generals from Tianjong and above gathered together. At the front is still the king of meetings, Branu. Below, Marine Marshal Sengoku. Marine Chief of Staff He. Louding Garp. 3 Admiral. The senior management sat down with this, that's a lot. The content of this meeting is very important, and Marine can basically come. Sengoku nodded to Branu, and Branu cleared his throat. Grand opening. I believe everyone knows it. After the Emperor Pirates killed the legendary pirate Golden Lion, they gained the ability of Lion Fruit and entered the New World. It only took half a day to defeat the Whitebeard pirates. With a powerful and crushing attitude, he also took care of the red hair pirates who came to break up the fight. And Emperor Anka used his mind control ability to absorb all the power of the Whitebeard pirates and the red hair pirates. This is an enemy several times more terrifying than rocks. When Branu said this, many Marines present couldn't help but swallow their saliva. Even Akainu, who used to be the most noisy in the past, has stopped making noise. Emperor Anka is really awesome and can't be offended. Kizaru also remained silent. He stopped joking about being scary, because it was really scary. Even the old and crooked Garp is serious. Garp now feels that Roger's resurrection and even him and rocks can't defeat the Emperor pirates. Sengoku was so worried that his hair turned white. How could such a strong man emerge during his tenure? What a bad luck. Emperor Anka. It is known that he is a user with the Paramesha Emperor Fruit ability, and his ability has been developed to the awakening level. You can even maintain the awakening state of the Crown Dragon Robe's fruit power 24 hours a day. In this aspect, Dalmesha Vice Admiral has a clearer understanding. Please also explain the strength of Emperor Anka to everyone in detail. Everyone's attention shifted to Dalmesha following Branu's words. As Dalmesha, who can always maintain a human-animal form, her fruit abilities are undoubtedly at the awakening level. He has a great say in this aspect. The awakening of Devil Fruit's abilities is very difficult to achieve. This requires not only being strong, but also requiring Devil Fruit to choose you. Only the ability user and Devil Fruit are compatible enough to awaken their abilities. The Emperor Anka is a born king. And the Paramesha Devil Fruit ability awakening state consumes far more energy than the zone ability user awakening. Emperor An can maintain this state for 24 hours. His strength is unfathomable. I think Anka's strength has reached the level of ancient weapon. A life worthy of Uranus, Pluton, and Poseidon. He is a strategic level natural disaster figure. After Dalmesha finished speaking, everyone nodded in deep agreement. That man can indeed be called a humanoid ancient weapon. So be it. Emperor Anka. It is known to have sword energy slashing, defense, mental control, teleportation, domain, suppression, coercion, amplification, creation, conqueror's Hawkeye and other means. He is truly a top-level expert in mental and physical skills, without any weaknesses. Has the terrifying power to kill Whitebeard, the strongest man in the world, with his eyes, and the mental power to forcibly control the red-haired Shanks of the 4 emperors. The new bounty offered by this department is 7.8 billion Baileys. An extremely regal photo of Hawkeye was taken on the Blackboard. This bounty is unprecedented. This is the highest reward issued since the establishment of Marine. Even Roger, the Pirate King, has a bounty of only 5.5 billion belly. Even Marine may not be able to afford it. But there is definitely no one who can catch Emperor Anka in exchange for the bounty, so there is no need to worry about this. Then there are the top cadres of the Emperor Pirates. They all have the strength of a general and are absolutely dangerous people. Former 4 emperors, because of the red-haired General Shanks. New bounty of 47.1 billion belly. Former 4 emperors deputy, Cavalry General Beckman. New bounty of 3.8 billion Baileys. Needless to say, these 2 are the maritime emperors who rule the New World. After surrendering to Anka, their threat has greatly increased. Photos of Shanks and Beckman were posted next to Emperor Anka. It's no surprise that the bounties on these 2 guys have gone up. Emperor Anka has the means to increase their power, and their power will definitely go further. Caught. Marine arranges surveillance ships to follow each of the 4 emperors. Except for the Emperor pirates who fly too fast. However, the Marine tracking unit responsible for monitoring the Whitebeard pirates also received very detailed information. Morgan's live broadcast was also captured. Marine decided to update the bounty amount of the Imperial Pirates officers based on their combat performance. Commander of the Imperial Guard, Mahawk. The new bounty is 4.5 billion belly. Field Marshal, Flame Emperor Ace, new bounty of 4 billion Baileys. It is worth mentioning that Ace is a pirate supernova in the same class as Anka. After receiving Anka's guidance, his strength has improved by leaps and bounds, and he is now a threat no less than the 4 emperors. The screen turned and the phone was projected away. The blazing heat emitted by the white flames made Akainu sweat profusely just looking at it. This is definitely no ordinary flame. According to Dr. Vegapunk's observation, the flame temperature of Ace in the 4th gear is at least 1500 degrees. The magma that can easily burn Akainu Admiral. In order to highlight the threat of Ace, Branu also compared the quality of the cause. It made everyone look weird. Next is Deputy Field Marshal Blackbeard, with a bounty of 3.3 billion Baileys. This is a dark horse. The city is extremely deep. Before today, he had never been offered a reward. Having the most vicious Devil Fruit Dark Fruit, and the strongest Paramesha Devil Fruit Shock Fruit in history. He is an incredible dual fruit ability user. The threat to Marine and the government has exceeded the level of 4 emperors. They are extremely dangerous individuals who need special attention. Mentioning Blackbeard, not only Branu, but everyone present was extremely shocked. Double fruit ability user, but it is still a luxurious configuration with silence on one hand and high damage on the other. This guy is simply heaven-defying. Finally, Dali Temple Minister Fujitora smiled. The bounty is 4.2 billion belly. Like Blackbeard, they are both dark horses who emerge from nowhere, powerful folk men with the strength of a general. Able to kill the Whitebeard pirates with one blow, its strength is unfathomable, and it is a top monster that can threat an admiral. A photo of the blind swordsman Fujitora is also posted on the Blackboard. 0.96 Marine. Just a government dog. Second update. Advertise here. Shanks, Beckman, Hawkeye, Ace, Blackbeard, Fujitora. A picture was posted under Emperor and Ka. It's like a heavy hammer hitting the Marines' hearts. There are 6 powerful generals and emperors alone. Good guy, this sway broke up with naval headquarters. If the opponent really comes to Marineford for a head-to-head confrontation, it's still unclear who will win and who will lose. In addition, the bounties of many cadres also need to be updated. Former Shichibukai, commander of the Imperial Pirates Imperial Guard, Sir Crocodile, summer bounty of 1.9 billion belly. Former Shichibukai, deputy commander of the Imperial Pirates Guards, Doflamingo, with a bounty of 1.99 billion belly. Former Shichibukai, Marshal Marine of the Imperial Pirates, Jinbei the Sea Hero, with a bounty of 1.8 billion baileys. Speaking of this, everyone's 037 color is a little weird. Shichibukai was almost wiped out by the Emperor Pirates. And Jinbei, the Marine Marshal, is really too much. Yuanren, a mere pirate group, also established the Marine Department. They simply don't care about Marine. Rebel against Tiangong. Everyone, excuse me. Phew, foo, foo. Marine's meeting was in full swing when an inappropriate and arrogant voice interrupted everyone. Immediately, a pink figure with hanging hair broke through the window and entered. The person coming is none other than Doflamingo, the deputy commander of the Imperial Pirates Guards Army. Doflamingo. The Marine vice admirals were shocked, and they all felt like they were facing a powerful enemy. He actually broke into naval headquarters single-handedly and broke into the meeting in their highest conference room. This is lawless. In comparison, the 6 giant Buddhas, Sengoku, Garp, Crane and Admiral, are very calm. It's just a Doflamingo, so there's no need to be nervous. I am not a cuckoo. Teacher first. Don't get excited, everyone. I came here just to act on orders, and I have something to do with your business district. Doflamingo smiled evilly and threw out the parasite string to control the 2 vice admirals. Let them fight each other and play a puppet game. Hey guys, first was playing Marine vice admiral in naval headquarters and fell asleep. Asshole, I advise you to restrain yourself. Akainu stood up angrily, half of his body transformed into an elemental form, and lava erupted from his face, making him extremely ferocious. The toxic gas emitted by the magma made everyone frown. Did you see the words above Laozi's head clearly? Follow your orders. Akainu, you are not qualified, and Marshal Sengoku is not qualified either. My emperor wants to talk to the 5 elders directly. Doflamingo pointed arrogantly at the 4 big golden characters above his head. If he had encountered a furious Akainu in the past, he would have been so scared that he peed. But now, he is acting under orders. Even 4 Emperor's Admiral can barely cope with it and not fall behind in a short period of time. What's more, you can rely on the power of a dog and the fox to fake the power of a tiger, relying on this towering tree. Doflamingo doesn't take Marine seriously. He just wanted to say one thing. Everyone here is a younger brother. Calm down, Akainu. Marine Marshal Sengoku scolded in dissatisfaction. The first level of officialdom crushes people to death. The chief spoke, and Akainu reluctantly took back his posture and sat back depressed. Doflamingo, what's wrong with Emperor and Ka that even God can't do? After drinking away Akainu, Sengoku frowned and looked at Brother Ming again. The other party is the envoy of Emperor and Ka, so they must not be able to touch each other. No matter how arrogant this guy is, he has to endure it first, in case the relationship with the Imperial card deteriorates and leads to a war. Then the gain outweighs the loss. Big Orange is the most important thing. The only ones left in the Shichibukai are the Pirate Empress, Moria and Okatsuki. My emperor will assume the position of Shichibukai. This can be regarded as a timely help. Phew, foo, foo foo. Playing with several Marine vice admirals with his fingers curled like chicken claws, Doflamingo sat down on the Marine conference table. Boom. It was the sound of a cup falling to the ground. Staff officer he, who was about to take a sip of tea, dropped the cup in his hand to the ground without checking. Wow, tea flowed all over the floor. But at this moment, everyone's hearts were in a state of turmoil. Why did they care about such a trivial matter? This news is really a bombshell. Not only did he lose his composure, but the senbei in Poo's hand fell to the ground without even realizing it. Akainu even bit the cigar in his mouth without realizing it. All Marines' minds are buzzing. I can't believe it at all. What is the identity of the current emperor and Ka? 1 king 4 emperors, a pirate emperor who is more noble than the 4 emperors of the sea. How could you condescend to accept the imperial edict? This is incredible. Impossible. Marine won't accept it, so give up. Staff officer he decisively refused. And Ka was ordered to be safe. It must be the weasel wishing the chicken New Year greetings, and he has no good intentions. There is definitely some conspiracy plan waiting for them. Give up, Doflamingo, our ideas are the same as Xiaohei's, there is no way. Sengoku's face also turned cold. Will the Emperor and Ka receive the imperial edict? When Garp invited the other party didn't like this shichibukai. Why are you turning back now? Isn't this just a trick on them? It's definitely not a good intention for a weasel to send New Year greetings to a rooster. You marine are nothing but dogs. You have no time to speak. We need to talk to the 5 elders. Now Doflamingo himself feels that he is too arrogant. All the marines clenched their fists so hard that their joints crackled. It's so frustrating. As a marine senior executive, he was scolded by Pirates 4.9 in naval headquarters. It's so frustrating. Garp, Akainu, and Aokiji looked dangerously in their eyes, ready to attack if they disagreed. Endure. I've been ridden on my head and shit, but I can't stand it. Good. Sengoku gritted his teeth and agreed. The matter was so important that he didn't dare to make his own decision. And Doflamingo is right. Marine is a dog raised by the government. Even those shichibukai belong directly to the 5 elders. In theory, it is on the same level as Sengoku. She's like an empress. When Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral was caught and ravaged, Marine didn't even dare to say a word. If those shichibukai couldn't defeat the Admiral, they wouldn't even pay attention to the Marine Admiral. In this era, Marine is really a loser. 97 shichibukai brothers are reinstated. First update. Advertise here. Bulu. The phone bug answered. This is a projection phone bug where the 5 elders are projected onto the screen. Doflamingo also took out the phone bug and projected Anka on the opposite screen. Meet online. One side is the highest power in the world, and the other side is the pinnacle of pirates. The kings of both sides compete. This meeting is enough to change the destiny of the world and the direction of history. It's a moment that can go down in history. History says. Marineford talks. Emperor and Ka, what are your plans? Saint Satan was the first to ask with a frown. Facing the Emperor's soul-piercing gaze, even these 5 experienced old guys couldn't sit still. It's so oppressive. Looking directly at the Emperor, the pressure is simply more unbearable than the power of Yi a 720 person. The 5 elders could only hide their inner embarrassment and uneasiness with their fierce looks. It is obviously the home field of Marine and the government. But Emperor and Ka relied on his unparalleled momentum to suppress everyone, unable to lift their heads. It is simply contrary to Tiangong. Did you see it? The 5 elders seem a little nervous. Emperor's vision is indeed terrifying. If you were in the 5 elders' position, you would probably be frightened. Aokiji and Kizaru were whispering. But the people present were all big guys, and every Grand Master was very knowledgeable, so it was impossible not to hear the 2 of them talking. Even the 5 elders have reddish ears and are a little embarrassed. Looking directly at that incomparable figure of Hawkeye, Inu felt a sense of frustration in his heart. Emperor and Ka, this newcomer is rising so fast. It almost took him 2 missions. The other party is already riding a rocket, growing to a level that is unattainable for him. This kind of character can indeed bear the title of being the strongest for 800 years. Being in the same era as him, all strong men would be eclipsed. Perhaps Roger, the Pirate King, has to be grateful that he died more than 10 years ago. Otherwise, if you meet Anka, you will become your younger brother. You must have a serious vacancy in Shichibukai right now. Why don't you give me one of the Shichibukai quotas? Her face is hidden behind the bead curtain, making her look even more mysterious and mysterious. A sense of unattainable distance arises spontaneously. Shichibukai, are you going to be Shichibukai? Similar to the reaction of the Marines, the 5 elders were shocked and stunned. Everyone is numb. It's incredible that Hawkeye, the world's strongest swordsman, can become a Shichibukai. I didn't expect that the strongest newcomer in 800 years would also be a Shichibukai. And that's after defeating and absorbing the Whitebeard pirates and the Red Hair pirates. What is this operation? Murder and arson are punished by the imperial edict. Impossible, absolutely impossible. There is only one truth. The weasel sent New Year greetings to the rooster, which was not a good idea. The 5 elders looked at each other and quickly made a decision. Okay, you can serve as Shichibukai. In the eyes of politicians, interests always come first. Now there are only 3 Shichibukai left, and there is an urgent need to fill the holes, Gen J pirates. And Anka of One Piece Emperor becomes Shichibukai, which will greatly dampen the arrogance of pirates. What? You said Anka must have some conspiracy. So what if the conspiracy comes true? After all, it was Marine and the Untouchables who suffered. Can the fire even burn the butts of their lofty celestial dragons? Just like that shit with Zephyr. The government doesn't care about an old Zephyr dog. Just make up for the Shichibukai and the performance will be up to standard. Hiss. As soon as the 5 elders' decision came out, the Marines couldn't sit still. What? You want us to form a united front with the Emperor Pirates? The opponent's strength is stronger than Naval Headquarters. Now it has an official identity. Who is the real Naval Headquarters? You simply don't treat us Marines as human beings. What is justice? Tell me what is justice. I have conditions too. And Ka's words did not surprise 5 elders. It's impossible for someone to act as a gunman for you for no reason. First, the Jade Dragon Kingdom I established must be a member of the world government, and it must not pay heavenly gold. Bring me Vegapunk. Quote. Equals. And Ka hasn't finished speaking yet. Saint Satan, the saint of scientific defense, took action. Stop it, no way. He finally understood that this emperor was making fun of them. The lion opens his mouth. Want Vegapunk. No matter how stupid their government is, they will never agree to this. Vegapunk's marine science class is now Marine's property. Various advanced technologies, beyond the minds of the world for 500 years. This kind of strategic talent with average background is more important than Marine Admiral. If you want a Kainu, we will give it to you. A red dog is given. But you want Vegapunk. It's truly fantastic. No need to talk. The opinions of the 5 elders are surprisingly unanimous. Just 2 words, no way. Hearing this, everyone in Marine breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately the talks fell through. Otherwise, they won't be able to do anything if the Emperor pirates come to the naval headquarters. That's such a shame. Let's do this. I don't want 4+ Punk. But my subordinates Hawkeye, Laosha, Mingay, Jinbei, Enel and Ace will take the position of shichibukai. At the same time, my empire will become a member of the world government. In my territory, Marine has no right to capture pirates. Pirates can't do evil either. And Ka also knows that he is thinking too much. Except Vegapunk. Other things 5.6 are simply not worthy of condescending to work for the government. Then simply settle for the next best thing and let your younger brothers continue to be shichibukai. Best of both worlds. Can. But there are only 5 vacancies left in shichibukai, and you recommended 6 people. Knife-wielding 5 elders Nasho Langsheng nodded. Compared to the previous one. This time it was clearly within their acceptance range. Hawkeye and these guys were originally shichibukai, so now they can be considered as reinstated. As for the fact that Marine cannot capture pirates in the territory of Emperor Anka. It's not a problem at all. Marine is Marine, and the government is the government. What does it have to do with them? The government doesn't care how Marine feels. Point 98 It's easy, just kill 1 shichibukai. Advertise here. It's simple. Just kill 1 shichibukai. Big Barrel Chote, it won't be long before you receive the news that he was killed by Ace. W. And Ka wrote lightly. I don't care at all about shichibukai's treatment. Can such a trivial matter be a big deal? If there is 1 more shichibukai, then just kill them. Now in this timeline, it seems that Tien has not become shichibukai. But it doesn't matter. He is definitely going to do Vegapunk, and Big Bear will be offering a buy 1 get 1 free gift when the time comes. There is a saying in Dragon Nest that is not afraid of thieves, but afraid of thieves. And Ka is now thinking about that thief in Vegapunk. With the Pirate Emperor thinking about him, can Vegapunk still escape? It's just something in the palm of your hand. The knife-wielding 5 elders nodded, acquiescing. Compared to the Emperor pirates, it's just a big wine barrel. Chote, it doesn't matter if you throw it away. That's it, Brother Ming, it's time to withdraw. The goal has been achieved, and Anka is not in the habit of gossiping, so he directly motioned to Brother Ming to call. This situation is even more perfect than being a shichibukai himself. Shichibukai is basically his little brother. It's like Marine and Anka manage the sea together. In compliance with the decree, long live my emperor. Brother Ming, who was arrogant and domineering in front of Marine, became obedient like a loyal dog when he came to Anka. The Marines were dumbfounded by the flattering look with low eyebrows. Good guy, where was your arrogance just now? After 3 bows and 9 kowtows, Doflamingo solemnly hung up the phone, feeling full of ritual. There was no need for the 5 elders to say anything. They didn't bother to pay attention to Marine and hung up on the spot. Then everyone, I'll take my leave. No need to send it. Boom boom. 2 tricks. 5 color strings took apart the conference room ceiling into 8 pieces. Brother Ming stepped on his right foot with his left foot and ascended to the sky. What an arrogant way to leave. Watching Brother Ming leave, the Marines felt a sense of depression building up in their hearts. Marine is so lonely. I can only pray that the research on Vegapunk will speed up and wait until the pacifist and Seraph come out. Their Marine's back can be straightened up a little. Go arrange for someone to repair the ceiling. Sengoku ordered with a dark face. New World, Narcissus Island. Bulu Bulu, Bulu Bulu. After hanging up the call from 5 elders, Anka called Ace immediately. This kid should be dealing with the ant, asking him to clean up the big wine barrel from time to time. Kaka, the call is connected. Hey, my emperor, do you have any warning? Ace's voice over there was muffled. Anka frowned slightly after hearing this. Spit out what's in your mouth and talk properly. Wangguo, Ace, Cake Island. These few keywords are connected together, and Anka can figure it all out with his toes. Now Ace is transformed into a humanoid bastard. Gouda, swallow it, please give your orders, my emperor. It is impossible for Ace to spit out the food that comes into his mouth, he can only swallow it. You may not believe it. Ace has already eaten half of the Cake Island. His stomach felt like a bottomless pit, and the life returned was welded to death in his stomach. At this time, watching Ace eat up more than a dozen streets, Daifuku and Owen, who were already numb, also became excited. It is the voice of the Emperor Anka. Emperor Anka is talking to Emperor Yan Ace. I didn't expect that little people like them could get a glimpse of the royal house with the voice of the Emperor. Hurry up and take care of Bigumum's affairs, and then go get rid of the big wine barrel chote. I want you to take the place of the barrel and become shichibukai. That's it, Kaka. After giving the instructions, Anka hung up the phone directly. Ace was left confused. What? You want to be a shichibukai yourself? He is the field marshal of the Jade Dragon Kingdom of the Imperial Pirates. Being a mere shichibukai is simply flattering the government. Forget it, since it is my emperor's will, then just do it. My emperor must have a deep meaning in doing this. Although Ace has a carefree personality, he is different from Jack. Not only is he not stupid, he is actually very smart. Contacted the enthronement ceremony of Emperor Anka of the Jade Dragon Kingdom a week later. Ace quickly figured out the cause and effect. My emperor is preparing to clear his name and accept both black and white. Yes, with this ambition, he is worthy of being the man that Ace likes. This world may not belong to my emperor. The dog government is incompetent and can only be replaced. Let's deal with Bigumum's matter first. Hey, what's your name? After touching his round belly, Ace stood up with satisfaction, and his eyes fell on Owen with interest. From just now until now, he has always felt that the other person's aura is very kind. The baked minister of all nations, Charlotte Owen, I am a person with high fever who ate the hot fruit. Can create high temperatures to heat itself and any object. 1. Owen patted his chest and introduced 710. Perhaps Oda understands for the convenience of readers that each demon fruit power will introduce its own abilities to the audience. High temperature. It's really nice. Do you want to hang out with me? After thinking twice, Ace showed a sunny smile. Flame and high temperature are indeed a perfect match. I'm afraid it won't work, thank you for your kindness. Owen, who didn't expect that he would be valued by Ace, was sweating. To be honest, he really wanted to hang out with Ace. I really want to switch jobs and join the Emperor Pirates. Ace is so powerful at such a young age and is in a high position with a bright future. This is a huge opportunity for him. But the smartest thing about stupid Big Mom is to have children. It is undeniable that the family system is brilliant. The relationship between family members bound by blood is extremely strong. Children are extremely loyal to their mothers. Even if the aunt kills her children, the children will still become sick. A situation like Whitebeard being stabbed by his son would never happen in the Big Mom Pirates. Because aunt is their biological mother. Especially the Katakuri people, who were born earlier, are even more loyal. In terms of loyalty alone, the Big Mom Pirates are much stronger than the Whitebeard Pirates. 99 The shame of 4 emperors Big Mom. What are you doing? If this is the case, there is nothing we can do. Go and see how Teach handles things. Ace was a little regretful, he still liked Owen very much. But there is nothing we can do about it. Who makes the other party a filial son? Although Ace is now a field marshal, he is completely hands-off, leaving all tasks to Blackbeard. Workaholic Blackbeard was also very happy to get the plan to perform himself in front of the Emperor. This is a fight that one wishes to endure. Oops, Master Daifuku, Master Owen, Mother, and the envoy of the Imperial Pirates are fighting. At this moment, the panicked little pirate shouted loudly. What? The 3 aces were shocked. How can this start a fight? Daifuku Owen. Damn it, the messenger of the Emperor Pirates won't be beaten to death by his mother, right? Ace. Damn it, Baikumamu won't be beaten to death by Teach. Let's go and take a look. The 3 monkeys with different thoughts rushed over anxiously. Regarding Auntie's absolute confidence and admiration, Owen and the 2 were worried about Lao Hei. Ace, who knew Blackbeard's ins and outs, was worried about his aunt. Well, do you really think I'm easy to mess with? Powerful country. Prometheus wraps his hair, steaming with flames, Zeus steps under his feet, dominates the world, and holds the sword Napoleon. This is Big Mom's strongest rampage form. The woman waved her sword, and an unparalleled giant shock wave was struck. The monstrous sword energy roared out with the annihilating wind. Is it the giant's famous stunt? But it's still too tender for me. Ha 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 ha. Experience the exciting combo skills of Dark Fruit and Shock Fruit. Dark Water. Shocked. Blackbeard smiled contemptuously, and drew a circle with his left hand and a square with his right hand. He made a mistake. Dark Fruit on his left hand, and Shock Fruit on his right hand. 2 top Devil Fruit abilities are activated together. Silence with one hand, explosion with the other. Invincible combination. A deep black hole appeared in the palm of the left hand, and irresistible power burst out. Pulling the ant's fat body, pulling her towards Blackbeard, disrupting her rhythm. Bang, bang, bang. At the same time, the milky white aperture in his right hand exploded, a concussive shock wave suddenly erupted, and the atmosphere was cracked inch by inch. Terrible cracks continue to spread, destroying Auntie's majestic country. The powerful general who acts under orders is so terrifying. When Roger comes, he has to fight with 2 big rivals. Not to mention Big Mom, the weakest 4 emperors. This guy is a disgrace to 4 emperors. During Shanks Kaido's crazy show of operation, she single-handedly brought down the entire 4 emperors. What? The ant's expression changed, and her plump figure was caught off guard and flew out. Standing on top of Zeus, she never expected that he would do this. Mother. Zeus chased after him. Auntie is flying ahead. Bump. The multi-ton behemoth collided with Blackbeard, and the impact caused by the inertia was not pleasant. Even if it's Blackbeard, his hands are numb even if he catches this mountain of meat. Too heavy. You old woman, it's time to lose weight. Shocked. Bang as a punch. Go straight to Big Mom's head. My ability. At this time, the ant was still immersed in the shock of the soul fruit's ability disappearing and could not recover. All ability users cannot be stable the moment their ability disappears. When a person with abilities loses their abilities, it is just like a normal person's eyes. If you say you're not panic, that's a lie. Click click click. Taking advantage of Auntie's dazed state, she wielded the world-destroying power on the elder's face. The world is shattered like a mirror. Emission armament hockey. Shock fruit ability. Conqueror's hockey. 3 kinds of extremely violent power poured into Auntie's head. No matter how invulnerable she is, with her copper skin and iron bones, she still can't stop doing this. Ahem. A super large dose of old blood spurted out for free. This heavy blow made the ant's head buzz, her body staggered for a while, and she fell to the ground. Mother. Everyone in the Gumam Pirates were shocked. Damn it, Mom. Some of the sons were even ready to rush to the rescue. An extremely tall figure stopped them. Don't go up. He'll die. Katakuri said so. His eyes were scarlet, and he was observing the situation through foreseeing the future. There is no doubt that Lao Hei, who was following orders, went crazy. Perospero, Opera, and Big Mom's children went to rescue Big Mom, just like moths flying into the flame. The last one was killed instantly. That's why Katakuri stopped his brothers and sisters. Of course, there is not only a dead end in the future. The trouble should end it. The people of the Emperor Pirates naturally have to be dealt with by the Emperor Pirates. The opportunity to break the situation is about to appear. Asterisk backquote. Ha 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 ha. Looks like we caught a big fish today. I will accept the soul fruit's ability. Underneath the heroic laughter was undisguised greed and arrogance. Blackbeard laughed. All members of the army are acting under orders. With just Ace and the 2 of them, they can complete the Cake Island alone. In addition, there are capable people like Anka. He is sure that Auntie will be rectified on the spot today. Soul fruit ability is also the top devil fruit ability. Its ability to control lifespan is enough to pervert. With the soul fruit, he can also create a fairy tale world that is grander than all nations. Wait a minute, teach, this is not what our emperor meant. The boy's voice interrupted Blackbeard's imminent move. If Auntie is executed right here, then their imperial pirates will definitely suffer a huge loss. You must know that Emperor Anka has a mental attack method that can forcefully survive the 4 emperors. If this method is used during the enthronement ceremony, then the entire new world will fall into their hands. Ha ha ha, I understand. Blackbeard's eyes flashed with light. He is also a smart person, and he immediately thought of the converted Shanks. If Auntie, with her fighting prowess, died so hastily. It's a pity indeed, it was such a waste of him. 100 overlords who follow the emperor. Advertise here. This is an unsolvable conspiracy. Emperor Anka's enthronement ceremony, will you go or not? If you go, even the 4 emperors may be transformed. If you don't go, I will give you salvation directly. It's a completely unsolvable situation. Thief ha 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 ha. But in Blackbeard's view, this is a reward for them, this is grace. Duhua. No, let you become ministers of the dragon. Let you leap over the dragon gate and soar into the sky. Mother. Everyone from the Big Mom Pirates rushed forward and helped Big Mom up. Katakuri and the others also breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, Ace showed up in time. Ma 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 ma. After shaking her groggy head, the unconscious ant woke up amidst the calls of her children. The ant's face was gloomy, she was caught in a fierce ideological struggle. As a steel balloon, top-notch meat. Blackbeard's attack didn't hit her hard, but it shattered her pride. She was a born monster with a bounty of 500 million at the age of 5, but she was pinched by an unknown little character. And it was in front of his sons. Being crushed by the strong and domineering one. It's simply a disgrace. But the current situation is obviously not the time to be angry. The reason why Ant is fierce. It's entirely because I haven't encountered any hard problems. How dare she act arrogantly in front of Roger Rocks? It is the nature of a pirate to bully the weak and fear the strong. The same is true now. Respected envoy of the Imperial Pirates, Field Marshal, Mr. Entei Ace, I am willing to hand over the text of history with both hands. She can't make Big Mom bow to Blackbeard who just beat her up. So Ace naturally became Auntie's target and accepted Auntie's overtures. Really, that's perfect. Ace showed a sunny smile. It's hard to imagine this boy who was full of the warm atmosphere of the big brother next door. It turned out to be the famous Emperor Yan, a criminal with a bounty of more than billions of Baileys. What a contrast. Hearing Ace's agreement, the hearts of everyone in the Big Mom Pirates finally fell. Although that Blackbeard looks very vicious, he is indeed very vicious. In the final analysis, the right to speak still belongs to Ace, the Field Marshal. But that Owen and this little son want to come with me. Tang. Flames rise, Hawkeye explodes. Conqueror's Hawkeye swept away like a tidal wave, knocking down all the minions. Qing Xiaobing's strongest move, Conquerors. It's Conqueror's Hawkeye. Sure enough, under the Emperor, there is a group of overlords who support him. Feeling this heart-stopping momentum, cold sweat appeared on Katakori's forehead. Conqueror's Hawkeye cannot be practiced. This means Doflamingo, who has mastered Conqueror's Hawkeye for decades. Conqueror's Hawkeye is not as strong as Conqueror's when Luffy Summit War first broke out. Conqueror's quality is innate. This momentum cannot be compared to his Conqueror's. Entei Ace, above him. The ant was shocked by Ace's high-intensity Conqueror's Hawkeye, but at the same time she fell silent because of Ace's words. Owen and Prometheus. Is the same fire attribute attractive to Entei? What a powerful flame, it's definitely no ordinary flame. As a user with the heat fruit ability, Owen has a very keen sense of temperature. He noticed Ace's change almost instantly. The flowing Conqueror's Hawkeye is like gasoline. Let the flames burn and burst into brilliant white. White flame. The space burned by the terrifying high temperature is somewhat distorted and chaotic. Ace's strongest form. Under orders, 4th gear. Same. This is the scent that transcends 4 emperors. Blackbeard, the 4th level ace, 2 top heroes who surpass the generals. Andy has already made a decision. Isn't it just Owen and Prometheus? She has more than 40 sons, including Owen. And Prometheus is even less important. Just click on the mountain fire and rub it out. This thing is high quality homies, and she can wholesale it. 0. Please give me flowers. For you, Owen, Prometheus, starting from today, you will officially leave the Tongue Mam Pirates. I have given you as gifts to Emperor Yan. Do you know what to do next? The ant said with a gloomy face and gritted her teeth. Her heart was bleeding. Of course it's not that I'm reluctant to leave Owen. But I feel sorry for the loss of this powerful combat force. At the same time, I feel sorry for my own face. Auntie is inherently cruel and cold-blooded. If she is angry, she will even kill her own children. Mother. The younger brothers and sisters of the Charlotte family all exclaimed in disbelief. That's brother Charlotte Owen. With a bounty of 300 million Baileys, Charlotte is the second most popular brother in the family. The biggest idol of Katakori. No matter what, I have been with my mother for decades, loyal, through life and death. Just give up like that. Mom is too cold-blooded. Stop trying to persuade me. Katakori shouted in a deep voice to stop everyone. For Ant, this choice. In fact, he felt more pain than anyone else. As triplets, the emotions and bonds between the 3 Katakori brothers are only slightly deeper than those of the 3 Luffy brothers. How could the brotherhood of decades be broken up so easily? But in his future observation Hawkeye, the questioning of these younger siblings will make his mother furious. It even caused tragic casualties. The ant is only submissive to Ace Blackbeard, and she has been holding back her anger for a long time without venting it. Give these children a hard blow. This is something Katakori doesn't want to see anyway. If this is the case, then it can only be like this. Prometheus looked very sad on the surface, but actually he was already happy inside. Following Field Marshal Entei of the Imperial Pirates, no matter how you look at it, she is more fishy than this old woman. And that white flame is definitely sacred rain to me. Prometheus had a premonition. This will be a great opportunity for me. 101 The Emperor Pirates are so delicious. A spark that sets a prairie fire ablaze. Advertise here. Dear envoy of the Imperial Pirates, please walk slowly. Wangguo Port. With her tail between her legs, the ant gritted her teeth and sent Ace and the others away. Son Owen. Prometheus. Road sign historical text. It's all gone. She was so embarrassed this time. Remember to come when the time comes. Ace waved to his aunt with a smile, showing his white teeth. Compared to the ant, she lost all her pants. But he made a lot of money. A heater guy who can warm the flame. A pet that can carry fire and fly. Emperor Yan has directly become a complete body. Okay, this trip from all nations is worth it. If you dare to be late for my emperor's enthronement ceremony, you know the consequences very well, right? Unlike Ace who was so easy to talk to, the Black, 477, beard ferociously threatens everyone in the Big Mom Pirates. Now he just wants to hurry back. Update your status of acting on orders to the status of returning to command. In this way, you can actually get the 2% permanent increase in all attributes rewarded by our emperor. I see. How could the extremely aggrieved ant dare to say no? Don't talk about going against the emperor and Ka. She doesn't even have the courage to go to war with the Imperial Pirate Army. Just an army can push them to the ground and rub them. Okay, turn around now, because the wine barrel is special. Ace stood on the bow of the boat, giving orders to Deus with high spirits. After receiving the order, the ship slowly lifted off the ground. Fly into the air. Ace, what's going on? What are you looking for shichibukai for? Blackbeard, who was eager to return home, was a little puzzled. They also completed the task. In this case, you should transport your things back as soon as possible and restore your life. This is also my emperor's order. My emperor asked me to deal with Okatsujat and take his place as shichibukai. Ace helped his hat that was blown away by the wind and explained. Hawkeye, Jinbei, Lao Sha, Brother Ming, Enel, and me. After discussing with the government, my emperor decided to let us take the position of shichibukai. At the same time, my emperor's Jade Dragon Kingdom will also become a member of the world government. Marines cannot capture pirates in my emperor's territory. So, Blackbeard responded quickly. This will create a situation where our emperor and the government share the world. Ha 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 ha. You are truly worthy of being my emperor. Now we can be considered an authoritative political group. Those guys at naval headquarters must have ugly faces. This situation is perfect. Just thinking about that wonderful future blueprint makes Blackbeard so excited that he feels numb all over. So cool. As expected of my emperor, follow the emperor. He has become a overlord on the level of naval headquarters so quickly. It's really the thigh of the times. Ha 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 ha. The four of Fan Okarafit also laughed heartily. Not that long ago. They are still unknown pawns. He hugged Blackbeard's thigh. Then Blackbeard hugged the emperor and Kaw's thigh again. When one person attains enlightenment, chickens and dogs ascend to heaven. They took off too. What a wonderful fate. Hey, did you hear that, Owen? It's unbelievable. Don't be sad. We are soaring into the sky now. Prometheus whispered excitedly into Owen's ear. He traveled around with his aunt for decades. He has already possessed great wisdom and shrewd mind. He has a very thorough understanding of this situation. Immediate world. The rise of Emperor and Ka is already a certainty. Ant. It's nothing more than withered bones in a grave. Following the ant, you are completely trapped in a cocoon and have no chance of getting ahead. Now that they have jumped to the Imperial pirates, they have truly soared into the sky. I hang out with the Emperor and Ka, hug the lap of the times, and eat so well. How could Prometheus not be excited? It feels so good. Oh, I hope Kata and Dafanbian will take care of themselves. Owen sighed and felt relieved. Although my own Charlotte family is unforgettable. But the Emperor pirates are real and delicious. Brew brew brew. Brew brew brew. Kaka. Hey, it's Jin Yue. I'm sending you a copy of the location of Big Wine Barrel Chote Zero. Lafitte dialed Narcissus Island's phone number. The Emperor pirates also have their own intelligence department. That was Commander Lao Sha's Jin Yue. Although the Jin Yue forces have initially entered the Dark World. But with the protective umbrella of the Emperor pirates, and the Dark Lord Doflamingo, he was able to stir up pressure. The speed of development can be described as a spark igniting a prairie fire. Even several emperors of the Dark World, represented by News King Morgans, surrendered to the Emperor pirates. Directly joined Jin Yue. In just 2 days, most of the Dark World changed its appearance and joined the Emperor pirates. Today's Jin Yue controls the world's news, transportation, funerals, trade, and joy. It has become a towering tree in the Dark World. Receive. It was Robin who answered the phone. She is currently in charge of Jin Yue, and its business development is booming. Soon, all the information about Big Barrel Chote popped up. An almost transparent shell, presented to Ace Blackbeard. Okay, let's go ahead and deal with that guy quickly, Wei Yi. Everyone was enthusiastic and full of energy. Deus activated the lion fruit ability, and the spaceship took the form of extreme speed. According to the coordinates, it rushed directly to an unknown island in the New World. 2 hours later, a bar island filled with 1.8 chaos and sin appeared at the foot of the spacecraft. This is Barrel Chote's territory. Wine Country. Enter. 4th gear. White flame demon form. Ace stood on the bow of the ship, clenching his fists, and Conqueror's Haki broke out. As the flames steamed, it transformed into white. Hey hey. A confident smile appeared on Ace's lips. He grabbed Prometheus. Conqueror's Haki is infused with madness. Ah, full. Prometheus's eyes were blurred, his expression was inexplicable, and the flames all over his body gradually turned white. Ace filled it with Conqueror's Haki. A mini white sun appeared in the sky. 102 The Withered Four Emperors. The power of an emperor. Advertise here. Ace at this time is exactly the same as Luffy in Nika form. White flame hair blazing. The eyebrows and sideburns become a devil fruit pattern. Floating flame cloud ribbon. He is also holding a little white sun with a satisfied face in his hand. Great Flame Emperor. Mera Mera fruit ability is activated to its fullest. With the blessing of Ace's vast physical strength, the flames almost covered the sky. The flowing Conqueror's Haki and Armament Haki add fuel to the fire, making the white flames even more powerful. The terrifying attack broke out using Prometheus, the little white son of Homies, as the carrier. A scene like a world-ending natural disaster happened. The white sun expanded rapidly until it enveloped the entire island. The huge shadow made the drunkards on the island in the Land of Wine realize that something was wrong. Hey, what's that? What a big sun. Are there 2 suns? The whole sky is blocked. A drunkard pointed at Prometheus in the sky and said in a daze. While talking, he also burped several times. How is that possible? I think you are drunk. N. The drunk next to him joked unconcernedly. What credibility does a drunkard's words have? It's definitely a hallucination caused by being drunk. No, it suddenly became hot. That can't be an illusion. Asshole, how could it be an illusion? There's an enemy attack. The opponent is the Emperor's pirate army corps flying in the sky. Entei Ace. A sober sniper suddenly shrank his pupils and broke into a cold sweat after observing through the eightfold scope. Crown Skull Flag. Tits Madara Boy Amiko. The visitor turned out to be the top cadre of the Emperor Pirates with a bounty of 1.3 billion belly. Field Marshal. Entei Ace. Idiot. The other party must be targeting Boss Chote. Go and wake him up. The snipers woke up two drunkards with a scratch on each ear. Then he swallowed in fear and ran towards the location of the big wine barrel Chote. In any case, under the huge white sun that is like a natural disaster. The only safe zone is around the shichibukai big barrel Chote. Hey, Owen, come and help me. Above the sky, Ace, holding the huge white sun Prometheus in his hand, extended a warm invitation to Owen. Hey, you better stay away. If this continues, the boat will burn first. Blackbeard reminded helplessly. This guy really doesn't make people worry. Before you light a fire and burn the enemy's head, you'll melt your own ship first. Ah, I'm sorry. Ace turned back and glanced at the scorched ship. He was shocked and apologized very politely. Then he held up Prometheus, sprayed flames from his lower body and flew away from the ship as quickly as possible. Learn. The hot wind is coming. Owen also attacked. The heat fruit's ability maximizes its power, heating the air with terrifying high temperatures and blowing out countless tornadoes of hot air. The wind helps the fire, and the main function of Irving's heater is to fan the flames. A tornado of high-temperature hot air blew around Ace, making the already monstrous fire even more unstoppable. Even the sky was burned red. Come and experience our exciting combination skills. Ace's white hair danced wildly, and his eyes were sharp. Prometheus spits out countless flaming suns, each one of which is like a giant meteorite in the world. These white flaming suns become more fierce and fierce with the blessing of hot wind. Burn the sky and cook the sea. A move as the name suggests. Burn the sky and cook the sea. Possessing more terrifying lethality than meteor volcano. Those white sun meteorites with great impact, the flames sputtered out after landing, are also destined to die. If this range attack continues, the area will become an absolute life-restricted area. Rumble. Worse. Down there is the land of wine and alcohol everywhere. The moment each sun hit the ground, it exploded like an atomic bomb, and terrifying white flames instantly enveloped the entire island. The land of fine wine instantly turned into a purgatory on Earth. It's so tragic. On the Spade spaceship, Blackbeard and the others watched this scene with lingering fear. It has a white flame with a high temperature of 1500 degrees, which is blessed by hot fruits and fueled by alcohol. The power of the explosion is more terrifying than a nuclear explosion. Because the temperature was too high, Blackbeard and the others couldn't even smell the aroma of barbecue meat, and they were burned to ashes in an instant. Instead, he was drenched in sweat by the heat wave that hit his face. Backquote. That big drunkard, big barrel Chote, must have been burned to ashes before he even woke up from the horrible wine. Quote. Owen crossed his arms and looked down at the island, admiring his masterpiece with satisfaction. A pirate island filled with crime and chaos. Shichibukai's station was destroyed in an instant. This is the exciting combination of his heater Owen and Entei Ace. Okay. Decided. Brothers, call it a day and return to Narcissus Island. Ace exits the fourth gear mode and returns to the Spade spaceship with the cute fairy tale cartoon son Prometheus. New World. Beehive Island. On the army side, relying on Lion Fruit's mobility, Tien was in full swing. Lao Sha was also very busy. After notifying Akoku and the other four emperors, Lao Sha was ready to call it a day. After receiving the task of inviting everyone, he rushed here as soon as possible. Big Pirate Akoku, the Emperor of the Sea, who reigns majestically in the New World, is frightened just by seeing the messenger of the Emperor Pirates. The Emperor Pirates are a behemoth that can easily destroy 4 Emperors Pirates. Home to the new 4 Emperors. This is the power of 4 Emperors. It's Sir Crocodile. This guy is a leader of the Emperor Pirates. Go and notify the captain. They can't be offended at all. Respected Lord Crocodile, Commander-in-Chief of the Royal Pirates, I didn't know you were here, but I missed you so much, so I apologize. The wind and sand overflowed, and as Lao Sha's figure appeared, the pirates were all shocked. No need to inform, I'm already here. The remaining minions, Zhao's, can ask Morgans from the Jiniwei News Department to notify them in newspapers. Akoku saluted Lao Sha respectfully, with fine cold sweat dripping from his forehead, and his back was already covered in sweat. It shriveled directly. There is absolutely no need to ask him to do any errands. 103 Awakening New Skills. The Emperor's Wrath. Advertise here. Narcissus Island. Weong Palace. In the Hall of Rend. Come back so soon. Lion Fruit is really heaven-defying. Anka was sitting on the Supreme Dragon chair, and he sensed the spade the moment it flew into the Emperor's realm. It only took half a day from departure to return. He brought the text of the road signs history and killed the large wine barrel. He was a little surprised by such a high efficiency. No wonder Golden Lion can become a legendary pirate alongside Roger and Whitebeard. This mobility is simply invincible. My Emperor, we got the historical text back. Ace, Blackbeard carried the historical text of the road sign and happily asked for credit and rewards. Behind them were the eager Lafitte and the others, as well as Irving and Prometheus, who were new arrivals as if they were entering a grand garden. The first time, 147. Met and Ka. Owen and Prometheus were stunned on the spot. The scenery of Weong Palace seen along the way is already very luxurious and unlike the human world. And that emperor is not like a mortal, he is like a god. How majestic, how sacred, and what a domineering figure that is. How lucky they are to have the most powerful man in Wenxian for 800 years. OSOSOS. In an instant, one person and one homies were so excited that tears filled their eyes. Ace has already reported to Anka about the joining of these two guys. Anka didn't expect that Ace would go to all countries and even eat and kidnap other people's sons. It doesn't matter. Anyway, the more little brothers you have, the better. Put the historical text of the road sign here. Looking around, Anka pointed to a conspicuous position above the main hall. Whoever gets the historical text of the road sign is not hiding it as a treasure for fear of being snatched by others. Use the historical text of the road sign as decoration. Apart from Anka, no one else is so awesome. The words are placed here, and the historical text of the road sign is placed in the main hall. Whoever has the courage to steal it or rob it. As you command, although I was surprised that such a valuable thing could be placed so casually as a decoration. But Ace Blackbeard didn't hesitate at all, just accept whatever the Emperor said. Finally, the historical text of the road sign was placed on the left side under the Supreme Dragon Throne. Anka left 4 in this position. You can go directly to Raftel by gathering 4 road signs and historical text in the 4 directions of the Supreme Dragon Seat, southeast, northwest and northwest. Reward. Follow your words. Along with the word, appreciation, fell. A 1% permanent increase in all attributes was immediately given to Ace Blackbeard and other armies. Of course, except for Owen and Prometheus, the two who did not have official positions and participated in the mission. Get the historical text of road signs. Unlock new skills. Emperor's Wrath. Wrath of the Emperor. Laying down millions of corpses, letting out an angry roar to generate sonic attacks, any target of the fearful host within the skill range will be instantly killed. Hang. The moment he saw the skill introduction, Anka's heart immediately stirred up a storm. This skill is so awesome. It was like the Emperor was so angry that he laid down millions of corpses. The main thing is a flash sale. It seems that collecting the historical text of road signs can also unlock new skills. Anka pondered secretly. We are also looking forward to the historical text of the roadmap that Shanks and Fujitora will bring back. It would be really cool if those two skills were as pervert as Emperor's Wrath. Thank you Lord for your kindness. Below, Ace Blackbeard and other soldiers who were still intoxicated by the actual increase in strength were extremely excited and thanked him. Their mission was accomplished. But Anka is an excellent leader. Naturally, these guys will not be left idle. There is still 1 week left before the coronation ceremony. You can let them snatch away the Golden Emperor Tezog and all his wealth. In this way, your Jade Dragon Kingdom will not be short of funds. Then go grab Vegapunk. Research on using Tezog's money to raise Vegapunk. Perfect, so perfect. Before that, all the talented people in the world come under my command. The 2 unstable factors of Owen Prometheus must be dealt with first. He took out the Imperial seal and drank loudly. Activate the Emperor's mind technique, and circles of dragon scale ripples spread out. Only those who are enlightened by the Emperor's will can be entrusted with official positions, and at the same time, they can use them with peace of mind. See my Emperor. Over the generals and emperors, the Emperor's mental skills can be called absolute control. Only those who are strong at the level of generals have a slight chance of not being converted. Of course, there may only be a little. Owen and Prometheus had already looked up and worshipped Emperor Kamui, but at this time they encountered the transformation of the Emperor's mind. Returning home comes naturally. Irving accepts the title, I will make you assistant to the field marshal. Prometheus accepts the title, and I am your secretary to the field marshal. Immediately afterwards, Anka launched the imperial canonization to confer 1 person and 1 homie's canonization. Pieces of golden armor appeared around the 2 of them. 10% increase in all attributes. A machete appeared behind Owen. In terms of strength, it was definitely comparable to a machete. At the same time, it could be heated to maximize the power of the heat fruit. Prometheus has also become a majestic little son in the style of a general. Thank you Lord for your kindness, long live the Emperor. Feeling the majestic power in their bodies, Owen and Prometheus were so excited that kowtowing was like pounding garlic. What big mom? I'm not familiar with it. They are now army members of the Emperor Pirates. They are the loyal brothers of the great Emperor Anka. Anka nodded slightly, not forgetting Ace and his group. We can't leave them idle. Immediately activate the Imperial Edict ability again. A piece of golden edict appeared in midair, and the handwriting of flying dragons and phoenixes appeared out of thin air. Ahem. Batuo took the edict and cleared his throat. By God's blessing, the Emperor's edict says, 4.2. Field Marshal Ace listens to the order and orders you to lead your troops to seize the Golden Emperor Tezog and his ship. There must be no mistake. Appreciate this. As the voice fell, the edict turned into a stream of light and poured into the bodies of everyone in the army. Everyone who had just completed the task suddenly entered the state of acting according to orders again. I accept the order. Ace and others screamed excitedly. The super monkey went out to perform the mission in a hurry. Robbing the richest man in the world of pirates, the Golden Emperor Tezog, etc., it makes me stab him just thinking about it. It's time for me to try out the strength of my new skill, Emperor's Wrath. After sending Ace and his group away, Anka teleported out of Weong Palace sitting on the Supreme Dragon chair. Prepare to find a few unlucky pirates to test your new skills. The Wrath of the Emperor. 104 The Emperor was so angry that he laid down millions of corpses. Advertise here. New world. Unknown waters. A large pirate ship is riding the wind and waves. The pirates above drank and talked happily, and their words were full of yearning for treasure and desire. Pirates go to sea. Who is a serious person for freedom and dreams? Isn't it all about burning, killing, looting and beauty's reputation? Look, what's in the sky? Suddenly, one of the pirates trembled and pointed to the sky, unable to hide the deep fear in his words. It is a kind of instinctive fear of low-level creatures towards high-level creatures, a fear that comes from the depths of the soul. The guy above is so oppressive. That is, the pirate captain rubbed his eyes, as if facing a formidable enemy. Although he couldn't see who it came from. But this sense of oppression is obviously not something that small characters can have. You can use your toes to figure out what kind of big shot you should not mess with. Quote. The helmsman who was observing with a telescope started to tremble even when he spoke after seeing the figure clearly. Cold sweat has covered his forehead. The excessive fright and fear even caused him to lose his mind. Silence enveloped me like an oppressive feeling that would destroy the world. Pirate 06 began to feel restless and anxious uncontrollably. In just a short moment, everyone was shaking like a sieve of chaff. In the sky, two huge figures with glittering golden light appeared in front of everyone. Wearing an imperial crown, wearing a golden dragon robe, holding the emperor's sword, and holding the imperial seal, he sits on the supreme dragon chair. The pinnacle of pirates, the emperor, Anka. On and on and on. Anka. All the pirates were trembling, and many of them were so frightened that they peed on the spot. They actually encountered the 2-4 emperors who had just defeated them. The strongest newcomer in 800 years, the pinnacle of pirates, the strongest man in the world, Wang Anyi. Interesting. Anka looked down at the group of little Karami quietly. The prerequisite for activating the Emperor's Wrath is that the opponent should be afraid of you. Naturally, he wants these guys to accumulate some fear so that he can take action easily. The Wrath of the Emperor. The most powerful range group attack skill currently activated. The Wrath of the Emperor. Anka launched this move, his eyes were condensed without any color, as if he was the aloof Emperor Hengu. Same as activating Conqueror's Haki. Unparalleled momentum fluctuations broke out with Anka as the center. And Anka's mouth was slightly opened, emitting a sound wave impact similar to a roar. Boom. In just a moment, shock waves swept across. The sky and the earth changed color. Calm and calm. The pirate ship stood absolutely still on the sea in a strange way. The world is terrifyingly quiet at this moment. Pound. As the first pirate fell to the ground. Bang 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 bang. Like dominoes. The ship was full of pirates, but not one of them was still standing. They all collapsed and died tragically on the spot with bleeding from their orifices. Cool. Looking at the tyrannical power of this blow, even if he was mentally prepared, he was not surprised. Produced by the Emperor, it must be a high-quality product. A large pirate group of 3,000 people. Kill instantly with one hit. From the big pirate with a bounty of over 100 million to the small Karami, you can kill them all instantly. As long as they fear themselves. This kind of attack is more like a strange law attack method, unreasonable, simply unreasonable. As long as the target has a fear of Anka, they can all be killed instantly. If Anka stood in summit war and roared, he would be able to kill all of Marine's 100,000 troops instantly. In the true sense, when the Emperor is angry, millions of people are killed. Bulu bulu bulu. Bulu bulu bulu. Kaka, my Emperor. I'm Fujitora, I'm having a little trouble getting the historical text of the Fur Tribe road signs. The call was from Fujitora. The situation is not very complicated either. It can be summed up that Fur people are very tough-mouthed, from an 80-year-old man to an 8-year-old child. No one has disclosed the location of the historical text of the road sign. The entire Fur Tribe, except for the infants, fought hard to resist Fujitora. Even if the capital city with a history of thousands of years was destroyed, the tough-talking Fur Tribe did not say a word. After playing for a long time, I didn't get any useful information. Fujitora was helpless and could only call and caw for help. The Fur Tribe is really like this. After hanging up the phone, Nka was quite emotional. No matter how many times he watched the scene where the Fur Tribe protected Raizo, he would still get goosebumps. These guys are so loyal. Even Jack's cruel torture could not pry the Fur Tribe's mouth open. It's normal for Fujitora, a gentleman, to be helpless. Forget it, he would go there himself. After using the Emperor's mental skills to convert these animals, the Fur Tribe has become very good in combat effectiveness. And he is also very interested in his object. Momonosuke, the forced-raised one, can actually command the Elephant Master. He must be a slave of the ancestor of the Kazuki clan. Hold. Thinking of Momonosuke, this unforced thing, and Ka felt unhappy instantly. This little brat is simply the public enemy of Heimi. Apart from celestial dragons, there are 400 most hateful creatures in the pirate world. No, they are as hateful as celestial dragons. Fujitora's methods have been very merciful. But I swear to God, there is absolutely no such thing as a historical text. The fur tribesmen who were suppressed by gravity also seemed to protest, looking like they would rather die than obey. The Principality of Furry, Duke Inarishi also roared. The Supreme Dragon Throne mobilized with all its strength, and in less than 2 hours, it caught up with the elephant bandits who were causing chaos in New World. Cat Viper, who was firmly suppressed by gravity, protested. Zo, how many times do you want us to say this? There is no such thing as a historical text. Now he is also a man who can fly. Elephant Master is Momonosuke's chance. If he can cut off his beard, he will definitely not leave it to that little brat. Emperor Pirates Lord Daily G, I don't know what your purpose is here. On the Supreme Dragon Chair, Anka took out the life card of Fujitora Yishao and controlled the flight of the Dragon Chair according to the instructions of the life card. The ability to fly is very popular in the pirate world where 90% of the area is ocean. This means that he has to wait 4.5 years before he can cut Momonosuke into pieces. If it had been Jack, they would have been stripped of their arms and legs by now. Calculating time, it will take 4.5 years for that guy to show up. Let's go to Zo.